Yes, good people. Big up to all of you. I appreciate you all finding the time to join us on Chelsea Perspective for this particular edition of the Blue Morning Show. I do hope you're all doing well today. It's going to be fun today. We will discuss news updates, and then we will do a giveaway also, but on YouTube only. So if you're following the show on Instagram or following the show on X, formerly known as Twitter, or maybe on Facebook, you're better off being part of the show on YouTube. So you get a chance to win a cash prize for Christmas. We're celebrating from today onward. I think we'll do up to 3 times, one for Christmas Day proper, and then one for New Year's Day proper to celebrate our members. So if you don't mind, come join us here on YouTube to be part of that giveaway show. And if you haven't, please keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. So remember, we have a lot to talk about today. Sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, people, big up to all of you. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show once more. I hope you're all doing well. Without wasting much of the time, let's get into the show and say hello to those of you, to the people in the chat. Let's see. The first person here is Namaya Forole, who says Osimhen cannot happen. We will be deducted points if it happens. I'm not sure what to make of that comment. That's seriously, if we're considering paying 100 million euros for Viktor Gyökeres, I think we can actually sign Viktor Osimhen. It's at that time of the year, says Jerry Z. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. Draw day. Yep, let's see. And Chelsea FC Jingles, good morning, coach, and everyone in the chat. And if you own the YouTube channel, you know what to do. Nice to see you, Mr. Jude Messerle, my bro. Appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. And we have hello everyone, Constantine Danji. Big up to you. What? I did not turn on my soundboard. I feel disappointed right now. But that's by the way, I'll do it again for you. Yep. Hello. I hope you're doing well. He says, I love the CFC Xmas decoration. I appreciate you. Glad you like it. It is virtual. Yeah, I made it with AI, and it's actually beautiful. I have to say, and I love it. Yeah, but people keep dropping the likes on the stream. Even if you're following the show on Instagram, keep tapping your screen to help us garner more likes. The likes do go a long way. We sincerely do appreciate that. Just give me 1 second here. Let me fix my soundboard. I don't know how I made that mistake, really. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. If you're on Instagram, keep tapping the screen to help us garner more likes. Something on something. If you're following the show on X, formerly known as Twitter, keep tapping your screen to help us garner more likes. The likes to go a long way. The more likes we get, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and be forced to push the stream to more people who would be interested in the stream. Items we have lined up. Yep, Constantine Dante, that's for you, bro. Much love and respect, the captain of the house. Let's see the being late sound. I knew you were gonna come at me. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Once more, I'm gonna make this announcement again. I'm not sure if I'll remember to make it. We'll do a giveaway today, Christmas giveaway, to appreciate our members, to appreciate those who have supported us for a while. But it doesn't matter if you just subscribe to the channel today on YouTube. You still get a chance to win a cash prize. And believe me, it's not. It would be good. I can't say it will be big, but I would say I can promise you win a cash prize that will be enough for you to do something nice with it. So if you don't mind, please do join us on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and also tell all your friends to get a chance to win the cash prize, to join us on YouTube to participate in the show. But that's, by the way, we will start addressing the items we have lined up one by one. Not quite a lot, but we'll be doing Q&A today. I'll take your questions. Yep, if you have any questions. Yep. Let's start addressing the items right now. All right, this is the first item here. Yep, let's start from there. Mauricio Pochettino has warned his players and their entourages that Chelsea is not a charity, and that complaints about them not playing annoy him. Here's the thing. I like to hear that, which means he's not into starting a player, or you can say, should I say, he's not sentimental with regards to his selection of who like you can say who starts. Who, it doesn't matter how because the players, managers, or entourage. Let's use the language he used. Pressure him to start a certain player. You'd have to be ready to get a chance to play for Chelsea Football Club. I like that. It's a good sign for me. Hopefully, we'll see it again. Maybe an improved pattern to his player selection that shows us, okay, you know what, he's really not sentimental with his selection. We have Bobby in the house. Bobby, Smoky Signals, I appreciate you finding the time to join the show, bro. I hope you're doing well. We talked about your absence. We talked about the comment you left. In the group, in the panelist group. We were concerned. I didn't know whether you were listening or you heard us talk about you. You're saying that you could have joined, but for personal reason that you didn't mention that you weren't going to join. Sorry about that. I hope everything is all right on your end. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We have how many likes? Just 4 likes. Come on. Shamefully, we should be doing way better than that, people. Just give me a second. I will come back to you. All right, if you're in the chat, let's hear you. What do you make of this particular comment from Mauricio Pochettino? And that's a Chelsea Dodgers quote, and Adrian Kajumba. I think it's good. Yep, I think it's good. No sentiments at all. Perform, and you get to start. And if you're better than the other players that you're vying for places with, then you get a chance. You start ahead of them. But Bobby, nice to see you. I've shared the link right now. Rain, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show this particular morning. Keep dropping the links, the likes on the stream, people. The likes will go a long way. It's more about the injured players and not playing earlier, like Nkunku, Lavia, etc. But to me, I think this is more specific. So even if that's the case, why would the entourage is the language he used there, or the camp of the players in question be bugging the manager, asking why they're not starting games? Why? While the club, they've made it clear, I think 2 months ago or so, that they will be extra cautious in terms of easing the players back into the squad. That's because they're trying to find a way to reduce the number of players we have out injured. So I don't know why they should be doing that. The players have been out injured, and it's not like we've missed them that much. Yeah, so it will take time for them to be properly drilled to play the way the manager likes them to play, in my opinion. Swap Alvarez, please let's keep the topics aligned. Otherwise, I'm going to be skipping whatever you have to say there. You have every right to say whatever you want to say, but I'm going to be paying attention more to the top items in the chat that are aligned with what we're discussing. That way, I don't get exhausted because I'm a human being. I'm not a machine. Switching between topics like this can be energy draining. Swap Alvarez and Enzo with City, they need a DM. We need a striker, and you think Enzo is a DM, right? Keep dropping likes on the stream. Yeah, especially was about that. Yeah. Let's see what else we have here. That comment from the Dodger makes it seem as like it's about everyone. Not really. Dodger is quoting Adrian Kajumba, as you can see. Yeah, look at it here. Maybe I wasn't sharing my screen at the time. It's on braces here. Yep, he's quoting someone else. That's not his comment. Yep. Let's see what other the next item we have lined up. Keep dropping likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And after addressing the news items we have lined up, we will take our time to compare Viktor Osimhen and Viktor Gyökeres, the two Victors. And I'm not going to say much about them now until we'll get to that item. Yeah, he's not quoting. Yeah, you're correct. I think I just saw that. He's not quoting, coach. Yeah, that's the truth. No quotes there. Yep, yep. He is assuming. Yep, I agree with you. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Let's move on to the next item we have lined up here. The likes to go a long way. We have just 4 likes. And people, come on now. We should be doing better than 4 likes. And we're getting closer and closer and closer to 18,000 subscribers. Right now, we're at 17,988 subscribers, which we need just 2 more to get to 18,000 subscribers. And hopefully, by the time the January transfer window shuts, we get to 20,000 subscribers. I strongly believe we can do that. But that's where you dropping a like on the show comes in. The more likes you drop on the show, on the stream, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and forced to push the stream to more people who'll be interested in the topics we have lined up here. Let me go back here again. Just give me 1 second. Right, let's move on to the next item we have lined up, people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. We don't have too many people watching. Hopefully that changes in a bit. Let's see. Mauricio Pochettino also, I don't know if it's necessary for him to say this really. I made my opinion clear. I did express my opinion when I read Reece James's comment, him getting back at the fans. That, my opinion, that's not the sort of thing you want to hear from your captain. For me, I'd rather say, yeah, I understand your frustration because I've not stayed fit for a while, but I can promise you this time the situation will be sorted out once and for all, and I'll be back and stay fit and help the club win stuff rather than showing that you're bitter. You're bitter. You're not happy with the fans for expressing their disappointment in you not staying fit. So that just didn't make any sort of sense to me. And again, once more, if you're watching, I'm going to keep preaching this. Come join us on YouTube, whether you're following the show on Instagram or X, or formerly known as Twitter, to get a chance to win a cash prize of Christmas. We do a Christmas giveaway, and the plan is to do it for 3 consecutive days. Let's see. This says after Reece James received hate, Mauricio Pochettino said that he too had been targeted, albeit to a lesser extent after matches this season. You're Chelsea manager, and even if you're the manager of a lesser known team, these things do happen to them. But I'm not saying anybody should send threats to the manager or to the players. It's not okay. I don't condone that. And the second paragraph, that's quoting him directly, says, "We are really exposed. Today it's so easy to try to damage people. It's so easy to write things. It's very fashionable to speak badly." I can agree to that one sometimes. Negativity is something that some of the Chelsea content creators, you can say, it's their brand, for lack of a better way to get my point across there. And the last paragraph here is saying, "What makes me sad is not the social media, the people that have access to write this negativity. What makes me sad is that the people that are involved in this business pay attention." Yeah, we're vulnerable. Let me just you say address that from the perspective of Chelsea fans. Chelsea fans are very vulnerable right now. But that's down to the poor performances from the team, down to, you can say, the complaints with regards to the players we've signed. But the truth remains, the Chelsea content creators they are, some of them are amplifying the issues, and it doesn't help. They are amplifying the issues because it works for them, because that's the definition of their respective brands. They push the narratives to get more views, more clicks, and it hasn't helped. If anything, it's and actually one thing that they don't understand is that what they've been doing has been, you could say, has been harmful to the mental state of Chelsea fans, in my opinion, because all they do is exploit the vulnerability of Chelsea fans, put out whatever they know that Chelsea fans will suck up to, and yeah, and it blows up. But that's, by the way, I can understand where that is coming from. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. And we have Constantine Dante saying, "I saw that specific interview in comments." Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, Bobby, nice to see you. I've shared the link in case you want to join. That's because he is not captain material yet, still immature, making it about himself, but he will learn from this. Hopefully, someone points it out to him. Yeah, I get it. It's not okay that some people will. I think what he actually calls what he actually called hate, and that statement of his is the fact that some fans are calling for him to be sold. Some started calling him "be right back" and so on. To me, yeah, he shouldn't try. He shouldn't make it about himself. It's about the club. And for me, I'm not too sure what to make it. I don't want to talk about that further. In my opinion, I think it was wrong in so many ways. Whether I don't know his people, whether they didn't read it, that whether they read it, and you can say advise him that he should maybe rewrite it. Yeah, because yeah, it that's not the sort of thing you hear from a captain. But like you said, it's immaturity on his part. He's still a kid anyway, and kids will always be kids. Let's see what else we have lined up here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. That's disgusting. If that is from our fans abusing players like Reece James. Reece James must be fed up of being injured, and this surgery will help him. I pray that the surgery is successful. Yeah, it's been done actually a few days now. It's 2 days now, and it went well. And just quickly, the doctor, the specialist who um carried out the surgery, has promised that yeah, he will be fine. He will come back stronger and will recover just in time to be to participate in the upcoming European competition, Euros. So some good news for us. If I hope I'm not misquoting the doctor, but my understanding of the comments is that yeah, they've dealt with the issue from its root cause, and that it will not be reoccurring anymore. So that's some good news there. But despite the way, we'll move on to the next item we have lined up. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. Again, at some point in the show, we will do a giveaway, a cash giveaway for our members to appreciate our members. I think we'll do it 3 days in a row. Let's move on to the next item we have lined up. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. All right, this is Mauricio Pochettino, who denied outright that, Enzo Fernandez wasn't injured. But right now, Chelsea Boros, according to this particular report, and that's Chelsea Dodgers quoting Nizaki and Salah saying Chelsea boss Mauricio Pochettino has confirmed that no, yeah, not quoting him actually, referencing something he read in his article or something, has confirmed that Enzo Fernandez has a hernia and will miss the Christmas Eve match against Wolves. He will likely miss just one game. Okay, that's some good news if it's just going to be just a single game. I appreciate that update there. Let's move on to the next item we have lined up. Keep dropping likes on the stream, people. We have just 7 likes. It's a really, really, really a slow day, but we should be doing better than that, people. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. And don't forget, we'll do a giveaway here on YouTube. I get it. Some of you are following the show on Instagram, some on X, formerly known as Twitter. You'd be better off being participating in the show on on YouTube, so you get a chance to win a cash prize for Christmas. And we do that. I want to do that. The plan is to do that in on 3 consecutive days. Let's move on to the next item we have lined up. People, keep dropping the likes on the stream. This here, Mauricio Pochettino on Enzo Fernandez. He says that Enzo is going to be out of the game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. We are going to see if he can be involved again as soon as possible. You already have the information that it was a hernia. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm not good at pronouncing medical terms. You already have the information that it was a hernia, and he also didn't feel well. Two things. I hope it's just a hernia, and he will miss just a single game, like the manager promised in the previous item we addressed. We move on to the next item. People, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. So now let's talk about rumored Chelsea interest, Chelsea Football Club's interest in Viktor Gyökeres. And of late we're hearing, but Fabrizio Romano did say that he's not counting any clubs out. I think he did mention specifically Chelsea Football Club, that it's not just a single club that's after the signature of Ivan Toney. In the case of Viktor Osimhen, we're not too sure what's going to happen. And for Viktor Gyökeres, that's the one that has, you can say, picked up steam, for lack of a better language there. And what we're hearing is that Chelsea have reached out to Sporting CP, the current club of Viktor Gyökeres, to inquire the possibility of signing I think he's Swedish, the Swedish international from there. But here's what I want to bring up to, you can say, remind us, is that the owners, they have a pattern to the way they operate. They usually go after multiple targets, and in some occasions you don't even know how serious they are in their pursuit of a certain player. Sometimes maybe, I don't know if it's papers that they use the pursuit of one player as a decoy, maybe a smokescreen to get the other there. You can say the deal they really want to get it done under the radar. And you could also argue that they found a way to keep their transfer activities under wraps. For Viktor Gyökeres, his release clause is 100 million euros, which is 87 million pounds. And Brentford, we're hearing they're not going to let Ivan Toney go for anything less than 100 million pounds. And Viktor Osimhen's release clause is 112 million pounds, which is a 3 million pounds off how much we paid for Moises Caicedo. So if you're watching, the question I want to ask you is this: what do you make of the price tag of each of these players on the screen here? From Viktor Gyökeres, 87 million pounds, to 100 million pounds for Ivan Toney, and 112 million pounds for Viktor Osimhen, who signed a new contract with Napoli, but it's not like nothing. You can say the length of the contract is just, I think, until 2026. I understand. So more like an improved, you can say more like a pay raise contract, in my opinion. But for me, I'm not too sure what to make of this situation. But here's the thing: Viktor Gyökeres, you can say, it will make sense to argue that he's at this point, not guaranteed to do well in the Premier League. That's because this is, you can say, his breakout year, his breakout season. And he's played just around 16 games at most. I think we'll look at that in a bit. But for Ivan Toney, he's done it for multiple seasons. For Viktor Osimhen, he's also done it for multiple seasons. So let's hear you. What do you make of the price tag of each of these players that we've heard that were interested in signing? Let's hear you. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go a long way. We have how many likes in total? 9 likes. Come on. We are indeed shameless. We should be doing way better than that. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. People have addressed this one from Rich Money Makers. Rich Money Makers, nice to see you, brother. Once more, if I didn't say hello to you, it must be my mild hernia, or he would need surgery. I have a family member who has a hernia, and he has been working for 5 years, taking some painkillers. Wow, it's that serious. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Hi, Chelsea. Okay, just saying hello to Chelsea, Michi boy, and Michi. I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate that. You don't have to do that, you know that, but I appreciate all the love you're showing me, bro. And I will most certainly reciprocate whenever I get a chance. A Merry Christmas, Crimbo, the East Gist. Wow, that's new. You're calling me a Crimbo. I have to find out what the meaning is. But I'm concerned that you're cussing the heck out of me. But Mitchell boy, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. And Merry Christmas to you too. Yep, thank you so much, Mitchell boy. I have to take a sip of my coffee right now, people, so I don't lose my voice. It's looking like that's going to happen. Why do we have just 9 likes, people? We should be doing better than that. Please keep dropping the likes on the stream. Even those of you that are watching, but for one reason or the other, you're not able to participate in the chat. If you don't mind, please do take a second and drop a like on the stream for us. And once more, I'm going to keep preaching this because I don't want anybody to miss out. We will do a cash giveaway on YouTube here. So if you want to participate, if you're watching the show on Facebook or Instagram, it would make sense if again you'd be better at following the show on YouTube so you get a chance to win a cash prize. I'm not going to say how much right now. I would decide before before the draw begins. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Constantine, tell me what that means before, so I know if Mitchie Boy is cursing the life out of me. That's a question for Mitchell Boy there, and he's in the chat. I can't read it. Merry Christmas to you, Mitchell Boy. You too. Let's see. It's pretty easy choice. Let's hear you. Which of the players would you like the club to sign, and why? Elaborate. It'd be interesting to see what you have to say there. Let's see. Please click the likes. It only takes just a second, and it's free. Yep, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt to do that. 9 likes already. Come on, people. We should be doing way better. I'm not sure why we're stuck on 9 likes already. Okay, I'm gonna take a sip of my coffee right now. I said I'd do it a few minutes ago, but I didn't anyway. Okay, here's the thing. On a surface level, the only thing you can say right now is Gyökeres, he's in form. You can look back 2 or 3 seasons and say, yeah, he's been killing it for 3 seasons right now. But again, that's my opinion. Maybe I don't know him that well. If you have a counter argument, if you feel like he's been doing it for multiple seasons, for like 2, 3 seasons right now, you tell me. I think it's just this particular season, in my opinion, in a top flight football. He's done it in the championship. I don't even know his championship record here. Let me see if I can find something quickly on Google. Okay, maybe we'll switch seasons and go back a bit. Let's see what we do here. So this is yep, that's his here, Viktor Gyökeres. I found it difficult pronouncing his name. For the current season, that's 23-24. Gyökeres, he scored a total of 16 goals, and he's played a total of 19 matches, which means that's nearly a single goal per game. So that's for this particular season, and he's averaging 0.77 goals per 90 minutes. Not bad. Nearly at least, yeah, that's the same thing I said. He's played 19 games and has scored 16 games in total. That's in multiple competitions in the Portuguese League, UEFA Champions League, Portuguese League Cup. So, but that's not bad. He's averaging a single game per game, and 0.39 assists per 90 minutes. He has a total of 5 assists right now. 1 point, that's irrelevant because that's goals plus assists in total. I don't think that's necessary. So let me see what you have to say before we look at his previous years. For me, I would just go by what he's doing current season, but the definition of that is quite simple. It's just he's in form. Just let's just say he's in form. He's firing on all cylinders right now. But I'm not quite sure that if you look back 2 seasons, 3 seasons, that you say, yeah, he's been doing it for 3 consecutive seasons or something like that. But that's just my opinion. You want me to elaborate? I've been doing that for some time now. Yeah, now you know how it feels to keep reading the comments. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna boo you for that one. Oh my goodness. He's a good player, but 86 million pounds, 87 actually is a lot. I think that's a lot. I think it's too much. And that's because down to the fact that he's not done it because of for multiple seasons. And let's be honest here. I'm not saying that because he was in the championship last season and 22, maybe 22, 23, that means he's not a good footballer. No, we've seen players from Jude Bellingham also was found. You can say he was scouted in the Champions League. Dortmund did that, and what's his name? I think what's his name? The Leicester guy. What's his name? Also, he started in the Championship, and look how well he did in the Premier League. But my point is, I don't think it makes sense to pay that much money for him. And the fact is, this is you could say the correct worth right now is 32 million pound euros, but because he has a release clause when he signed the contract, so that's where you see that you pay the 100 million euros a release clause, or you move on, or you jog on, for lack of a better language. So yeah, I don't think we should pay anything up to even 70 million pounds for him, and that's because you say right now all you can say is that yeah, he's in good form. But we in a bit we will look at is how well he did in the championship. But I still wouldn't count that, in my opinion. I'm sticking with how well he's done in the top flight football, in my opinion. Let's see, he can score goals with his head a lot, and I heard he can also be aggressive, which I like that in a striker. It doesn't matter if we don't put crosses in for that. Yep, let's see. Good day, coach. Good day to you too. Ooh, nice to see you. Ooh, I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. And we also just have in the house here Jamie Vardy. Yep, that Oli Watkins. Yep, those players were discovered in the championship. But my point is that there's no guarantee. I'm not saying that because yeah he was in the championship last season that he's a bad player. So I had to mention Jamie Vardy that he started in the championship, and look, he made his mark in the Premier League. He did well. Was one of the most prolific strikers. The season they won the trophy, even the season after, and multiple seasons in the Premier League. But my point is, for Gyökeres, for me, that is just way too much, in my opinion. I'm not too sure what to make of that. Spend that 100 million on a Osimhen, according to Oscar. Nice to see you, Mr. Oscar. And I say, yeah, do that. If we're going to spend that much money, why not spend it on a Osimhen who's done that, who's shown that he's capable of doing it for multiple seasons across multiple leagues. He did it in League O. He did it now again. He's doing it in Italy. Yeah, I get it. In Germany, he didn't get the chance to play that much. He wasn't given that much of opportunity, in my opinion. Good morning to you, to CFC Gavin. He shared the link to his YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed to GFC Gavin's YouTube channel, go check it out. Let's help him grow. We are 11 likes. We are at how many likes? 11 likes right now. But I think we should be doing way better than that, people. Come on, we're truly shameless. But I appreciate 11 likes. Krimbo, just a word for Xmas. I didn't know that. So I'm learning. But saying you're cussing me out, you know quite well that I was just joking. But again, I appreciate the Christmas present, my friend. All the love I will find, I will pay you back most definitely. Let's say we don't need another flop of a striker. We need to get it right. We need an established striker. But here's the thing: there's an argument for and against every striker that you mentioned. For Viktor Osimhen, you've seen. I'm quite sure you've seen people. You've heard people argue that strikers from Serie has rarely work. You can say rarely work in the Premier League. Yep, and people can mention Romelu Lukaku. I think there are other strikers too that they've mentioned when making that argument, in my opinion. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes that do go a long way. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show. Kachula features the most exceptional backdrop I've encountered anywhere. I appreciate that. A courtesy of artificial intelligence, I was able to put in good description and say, this is what I want to see. And boom, you got stuff I like. And again, I think I created more than 10. So if anybody wants some, I will send it to them. 86, yeah, exactly. I think in pounds, it is 87 million pounds. In euros, 100 million euros. Never heard of Crimbo before. This is the first time. So that was why you were asking the question, like, what's going on here? So, Bobby, I appreciate you finding the time to join us this particular morning. I read your message and I did tell the community about it. And people were a bit concerned. We want to show what was going on. I hope everything is okay on your end. I hope it's not that yeah, you had issues with the treatment and all that. But whatever it is, just know that we've been praying for you and that you will eventually overcome. But let's hear you, Bobby. How are you doing? First, more importantly, if you're there.
Yeah, thanks, Coach. Yeah, thanks, guys. Big up, guys. Good morning. Merry Christmas in advance.
Merry
Merry
Christmas to you too
Crimbo
in
in
advance.
advance. Crimbo is a very kind of, uh, 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 I don't want to use the word scouse because it can be a little bit offensive, but it's very much from that part of England where they tend to say that. It's kind of northern Midlandsy kind of people. But
Mhm.
that aside, yeah, I mean, I've had a lot of treatment this year. I don't want to whine about it and go on about it. It's been up and down. I am on a good path, but I was whisked away by family to a little break. Typical English holiday, cold rain by the sea and, and windy, but it was nice. It was nice to get away, and I was banished from social media and any form of work or anything that would allow me to communicate effectively with the outside world. So I appreciate the couple of days. I'm back now in time for the football and for a quiet Christmas and to chat with you guys. So, much love. I am very appreciative and thankful for the love. Coach, right from day one, how many years ago now? Gosh, it must be at least 3, 4 years ago now
You
because,
can say 3 years because we
yeah.
started in 2021.
Yeah, this was all kicked off by COVID, and the outshoot from there. We've been together, and long may that continue. It's
Hmm.
been an absolute honor, a pleasure to have an outlet to which to speak about the club I love so much. Sometimes to vent, but it's all in good faith. Trust me, and
Much
thank you.
appreciated.
Thank
Much
you.
appreciated. Let's talk about this, Bobby. I'm sure
Yeah.
you've heard the news, and I'm happy, but I'm just gonna update you on that one. Then I'll get you to talk about our interest in Viktor Gyökeres. The good news is that Reece James, the doctor that performed the operation on him, has said that yeah, that's it, it's done. They've sorted out the issue, the hamstring issue, that he will never come back again, something to that effect. I don't want to misquote him, but he's guaranteed that Reece James will be back in time and will be fully ready for Euros. That's the sort of assurance he's given the Chelsea fans, and that's some good news. Which was why I was saying I was saying I don't think we should sell him. He should just go under the knife, and I'm happy he's gone under the knife. I don't know you have anything to say with regards to that before we talk about the price tag of each of these strikers that we've been told that the club are considering signing one of them. Go ahead. Chelsea are considering signing one of them, so to speak. Go ahead, Bobby. Are you there, Bobby? You want to talk about Reece James? Okay. Let's see what else we have here. And whenever you're ready to speak, just let me know. I'm gonna go ahead with the show. Keep dropping the likes on the show, people. Finally, we are at 15 likes, but
Sorry.
we should
Yeah,
still, yeah. Go ahead,
sometimes
Bobby.
I'm struggling with my things and I'm using my phone on mute and different things. Yeah,
So you've
coach.
lost form. You
Uh,
need
no,
yes.
Honestly, coach, there are a couple of things in and around Reece James I want to quickly mention, very
Hmm.
quickly. Yeah, Reece James' injury needs to be addressed quite radically. Whether it's surgery, whether this will help, it's good he's doing something.
Hmm.
And I think, yeah, he kind of let off a bit of steam at the fan base, but I don't believe the fan base he had that much hate, to be honest. Yeah, we have some silly fans,
I
but
wouldn't call it hate either.
yeah,
And
I
his
think.
statement is just childish, in my opinion. That's not captain like. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean it was a little childish because he's there to do a job, and if you had listened to Pochettino's interview, everybody this stresses out everybody. It stresses him out, his family, his career, because we want the best for his career. It
Hmm.
stresses out the England team. It stresses out the ownership. And one thing people have to understand is that this is a business in a way, and it's a practical thing. And we need these players to be performing for what they are there for. He's there in the capacity as the captain, as our best player, and he's being paid for that. Let's be real. So
Hmm.
when he's not available, it has a multiplicity of an impact. Now, nobody's saying he's deliberately injured or he's enjoying being injured. Of course not. But we as a fan base are expressing our frustration, our concern for him because he's occupying such an important position. And we love him at Chelsea. Of course we do. There's no question about that. But fans will express themselves. And unfortunately, it can't be all the, oh, get well soon, you're so brilliant, we love you, and so on and so forth. It's a, hey, look, guy, sometimes you got to push them a bit and say, this club needs you. And indeed it does. Chelsea's not the same without Reece James. So if there's anything and everything he can do to get well, please do so. And we are behind you. Now,
And
we've all talked
I
enough.
did use an analogy, just quickly, if you don't mind, Bobby. I did
Yeah.
use an analogy, even in our respective families. When you have a loved one that you expect to be there for you, when they're not there for you, you get frustrated. And sometimes you can express your frustration in ways that will come across as if you're hating the person, but you're not. It's just
Yeah.
that you need them, but they're not there for you. But go ahead with what you were saying, Bobby.
Oh, tell me about it. My family whisked me off on holiday to try and get me fit. They want me well. They don't want me languishing around. And, this is just exactly what you're saying, and everybody wants a well loved one. You don't want, or a well employee or a well a team member. So that's all it is. So I accept his frustration. Maybe it's not quite what he should be saying, but he's a kid anyway. In a
Yeah,
team
kids
full
will
of
always be
kids.
kids.
Exactly. So, let's hope this works. There's no guarantee. We just have to wait and see. But we're trying everything. He's trying everything. We as a fan base love him. We want him. I'll come to this talk of sale and that. And, I
Mhm.
don't even think that should or would or will ever be on the table. And, we are very prepared to have our captain and best player back. And I've chalked him off for the season. I don't think he's going to be back. He can sit in the stands, encourage, do whatever he does off field, but I'm not seeing him. I don't see it. And even coming back, I'm looking at a lot of bench appearances till we're sure this guy is okay. And coming to that, the issue of players and wellness and so on. There is a narrative that comes negatively at Chelsea constantly. And, I before Johnny Minerals started getting too negative, such that I even backed off him.
I know you
I
used to like him. I know you used to
Oh,
like him.
very
So
much. And
yeah.
I
Mhm.
still do. I've got nothing against him, but I think, he got too, or he has gotten too hysterical in his own disappointment, and it goes too much. I can't take it anyway.
Yeah,
Whoever
let's just
can.
move on. Let's just
Yeah, yeah,
just have a
but
discussion. Yeah.
I fully, yeah, I like the guy, and I fully understood when he was talking about these journalists and brown envelopes and so on, because we've had our disappointment from Matt Law when he put out that thing about Enzo, and now, Ben Jacobs, who I also really like. I talk to him on his platforms, and now he's come out with this nonsense about Conor Gallagher. It seems there's always this curated propaganda that when Chelsea are going positive, they throw in the grenades to create the negative. They want a negative narrative. And this has sort of infected some of our newer fans who have panels whenever things disappointing happen to them to
Mhm.
shroud everybody with negativity. Now, I don't buy, believe, or really accept that nonsense about Conor Gallagher. I think it's a little bit suspicious that it's coming out at a time where we've managed to get to the semi-final of a cup after a difficult time. We've got youngsters, we've got one or two injuries, hopefully to get back. And just when the narrative should be talking things a little bit more on a practical but positive side, you throw in this negativity. And it is a negativity because we all can see quite clearly now, Conor Gallagher is probably in negotiation with the club. We don't know how it will go, but I believe, based on him and his desire for the club, it will go well. And he's proved himself. He's proved himself to be a valuable member of this squad. He's proved himself to probably be our next Aspilaqueta. You don't have to be the best player to be the most efficient. And this is what Connor is. He's going to be the recipe, as I've always said.
Yeah,
When if
we go ahead. We will talk
you
about him in detail. It's
yeah,
I mean it's not worth it. Yeah, but go ahead with what
to,
you're saying.
to be winners, you're going to need that ingredient, and he is that ingredient. So I don't see this, oh, if 40, 50 mil is reached, Chelsea are going to sell. I don't see it at all, even if Lavia is back fit, because the squad is there for a reason, and there will always be some player out injured, some player not on form, some players suspended, and there will be a rotation. The only problem we've had in recent times is that we've not had the players to rotate. So we've had to fit square pegs in round holes of new players not yet integrated in order to produce a team out there. So we've been struggling, but we're getting there bit by bit. Things are going much better, even in our worst times this season, than they were last season. So, I'm not happy with that. And Pochettino alluded to that in his press conference. He said, look, every time he's answering questions, oh, when's Lavia back? As if, they're trying to create it as if they're just going to be fit and then bang, they're going to be ripping up trees. And no, they're fit, but then they've got to be match fit. Then they've got to find form. Then they've got to build up their stamina process. It takes time, even when they're fit enough to be on the pitch. They're going to be coming off the bench. And just as I've often said on your platform, Chelsea are the one team that it's almost as if they're even their own base don't allow them to have strength in depth. They put a top player on the bench for 5 minutes and everybody's clamoring about them to be sold. Oh, they've got to be sold. They've got to be, he can't stay on the bench. And all this, funnily enough, Jose Mourinho mentioned it. He said, look, he puts a player on the bench and their agents come and they're telling him, oh, they want to be sold. And, he was partly explaining, the way Mo Salah and Kevin De Bruyne left. He said he didn't want to sell them, but they had to wait their time, and they were in a powerful squad. And he came under pressure when he puts one on the bench for 5 minutes. The agents are coming knocking on the door, and so on. And it is that pattern that is latched on by our fan base, where their favorite players are on the bench. I remember when Hakim Ziyech was often on the bench. You get some people creating platforms. Oh, why is Ziyech on the bench? Oh, he needs to leave Chelsea. And I'm like, you know what? Ziyech is on the bench because he deserves to be on the bench. He needs to come off the bench. He's not a 90-minute player. But some fans don't like it and they stir the pot. So, we need to get off that train, especially with this new young squad we're building. Just as Modric said, we're building something special, but we've got to allow the build to take place. And that takes a bit of patience, Sometimes a bit of pain and disappointment, but boy, when we have the joy, it's going to be really sweet. And I'm praying, do you know what? We've got a chance with the Carabao Cup. I pray nothing goes wrong, but wouldn't it be so nice to at least have that trophy for all the effort of the ownership, the young team, the new coach, and for the fan base to start having some positivity? I'll drop. Sorry, I
Yeah,
spoke
that
for a
would be
while.
good. Thank you, Bobby. I'll bring you back and I'll ask you questions. We'll look at the price tag of each of the strikers that we've been linked with. So I have a question for you with regards to that. Merry Christmas to Bobby, and I hope you're well. Guess what, guys? Bobby, is back and he's full of knowledge. I'm glad you like him. Let's see Christmas Chelsea live. Yep, this year. Thank you so much for finding the time to join. I think I missed something there. I was looking at where did it go? Just quickly here, give me 1 second. And I want to say thank you also for the donation here, Oscar. Much appreciated. I'm quite sure you wanted to send that with something, with some message, the Christmas gift there. But much appreciated, Oscar. Much love to you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I pressed this and it's not listening. Oscar, thank you so much. Much appreciated. That will go a long way for the community. So let's see what else. Where did we stop actually? Read that one and to this one here. I've dealt with that one. The Creambo talk conversation there. Let's keep going. Oscar here. Oscar, once more, thank you. I sincerely do appreciate that. A question for Bobby. Do you think we need? I'm gonna leave. We're not answering questions right now. I'll let you know when we're ready to ask questions, but I'm gonna save this one. Let's say, Bobby. And then Mitchie is saying, Bobby, hi. I'm Mary Kim. Kim what? Kimbo. I said that I learned something new today. A Kimbo. To you. Let's see. Hello, Scotch Potch. Yep. Why did I forget that Mitchie Boy's new name is Scotch Potch, and that's rhymes, and I like rhymes. Big up to you too, Chelsea Aholic. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join. Thank you so much. I fully agree with Bobby, and our boys showed a strong mentality, taking those penalties, all well taking penalties. You said that last time. Let's see what else we have here. Gallagher is okay, but we need more from him in the midfield. Yeah, he will get there. I don't care if he stays or leaves. I'm the same too. As long as whatever the manager wants is what we do. Bobby said we'll talk a little about James Gallagher fitness part. Jose, you know Bobby. He likes to talk about his club. More importantly, he will talk about you can say the situation at the club. Leave me alone. Yep, I told you that. Let's see, Holler, Roger Dodger, the chairman of the Goalkeepers Union, the manager's lawyer. Hello, gentlemen. Preach, Bobby, preach. Nice to see you, Roger. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join, albeit in the chat, probably busy. Welcome back, Bobby. Roger, and the new elderly panelist that joined. I think Tiger is an elderly, in my opinion. That joined yesterday are encyclopedias. Oh, you're talking about Max. Yep. Max are encyclopedias of Chelsea in this community. They are. I agree with you. I appreciate you also. Bobby, here's a question for you right now. This particular, we're looking at this. We have the correct information here. I'm quite right. Viktor Gyökeres that plays for Sporting CP. He was in the championship last season. For me, like I said, once you're done speaking, we will look at we will we will look at his record for last year, and then see if you can say, if all we can say is just that he's in form right now, or maybe he's emerging, but I wouldn't say he's quite there yet. Rumors are that his buyout, his release clause is 100 million euros, which is the equivalent of 87 million pounds. And Ivan Toney, I'm quite sure you've heard of that. Brighton they're not going to let him go for anything less than 100 million pounds. Victor Osimhen, he signed a new contract at
You mean
Napoli,
Brentford?
Brentford, so to speak. Brentford. But Victor Osimhen, he signed a new contract at Napoli, but he has a release clause of 112 million pounds, which is 3 million off how much we paid for Moises Caicedo. Here's the thing. The two of them, again, the two players behind behind Viktor Gyökeres, they're more experienced. They've done it in multiple seasons. Osimhen has done it across multiple leagues, but there's also an argument for against each one of them. For Viktor Gyökeres, you could argue this is his first season in top flight football. For Ivan Toney, you could argue he hasn't played for a club as big of Chelsea. But that's, by the way, those things, and that doesn't confirm certainly that they will struggle because he hasn't played for a big club like Chelsea. Osimhen, there's an argument that strikers that join the Premier League from Italian leagues usually don't do well. But those things doesn't really say that doesn't mean that certainly those players will struggle. But my point is that there's an argument for and against each of these players. But let's start with Gyökeres for 87 million pounds. Bobby, what do you make of it? This is his first season in top flight football, in my opinion. But let's hear you.
Well, the guy, although he's 25, he's still young, and
Mhm.
he fits his. I think he might be just slightly older than Osimhen, and he
He's
fits
25,
our.
yes, so 1 year older.
Yeah, he fits our current profile. So, what I like about that, I'm not going to pretend to you I know anything about this player. In fact,
Hmm.
when I heard the name, I was like, "Oh, okay, aye, who's this?" What I like about it is that it creates an alternative, which is a good bargaining tool in negotiations, in that
Hmm.
we're not in it desperately like we were for Caicedo. Caicedo was a must. Everybody knew, Brighton knew it, we knew it, fan base knew it. It was a must. We needed him, and thankfully he wanted to come. So we were backed in a corner. They smartly got him on an extended contract, and we had to pay the money. Crystal Palace thought they were clever. They tried it with Elise, and we were even cleverer. We've got Palmer, so they might have to suck on that for a while, because I'm not sure someone's going to pay them the top dollar they want for Elise. Well, not in a hurry, because the top clubs aren't that desperate yet. So
Hmm.
this striker, yeah, we are pretty desperate for a proven striker. Armando Broja is disappointing me a bit, because this is his opportunity. He's still struggling with injury. It reminds me of the Daniel Sturridge situation. Every time he had an opportunity, he was struggling with injury, and he never really did it at Chelsea, and barely did he do it at Liverpool either, because of his injury record. So Amanda, the chance is slipping through his fingers, and I pray. January is upon us now, so if we don't get someone in January, it's probably a reprieve for him. I pray he manages to do something, but we do need another top striker, because quite clearly Jackson is not a main striker. Neither is Nkunku, to be honest. But we just need that striking force, because goal scoring is our problem. So I like the idea of this guy. Is he what it says in the tin? Is he what he need? What we need? Well, we've got to trust our sporting directors, haven't we? I mean, we've got some good guys. They
Hmm.
haven't really let us down. Lawrence Stewart with Lavia and Badia Shield, and who was it? Lawrence Stewart for Lavia? No, it wasn't. He was Badia Shield. Lavia is the guy that we got from Man City. What's his name again? Joe Shields. But Joe Shields. We've got some. Even Winston Lee. We're getting good young players. Even Winston Lee and his Jackson. I like you. I think Jackson is a very good player. I just think he's not really played to his strengths. He's new to the league. He's getting used to, and he's new to the
He's not a
team.
number nine.
And yeah, and new to the team, new to the manager, he's got to be given settling in time. But the Chelsea fan base, they think it's still the Roman Abramovich era of your John Terry's, Obi Mikel's, and all that, and we'll be ripping trees up every left, right, and centre. No, we're in a building process, and a very strong and good one. But
Hmm.
they're not used to it. They haven't seen it before, and it's unnerving them. Whereas you just need to chill, suck up some of the odd results, and just keep going, and you see we're going to come good. So yeah, I like the idea of this guy, and I believe what you've said, and I also agree that there are pluses and minuses of both Osimhen and Ivan Toney, and if we've got alternatives to them, it helps us when we go to the table, and we know whatever we do is going to be expensive for a top striker. It's going to be expensive, but let's keep the expense to a reasonable limit because the way prices are going, I mean, we've done 115 on Caicedo. Believe you me, I think come summer, we're going to see strikers going for 150, 160, and don't be surprised, someone like Real Madrid having to drop about 200 million for someone somewhere. It's coming soon, very soon. You know what I mean? Very soon, because if a
Mhm.
midfielder can be 115 million, a striker, who knows? So we've got to check that, and we've got the alternative of this guy, the alternative of the others, and we'll see what happens. It only takes an Arsenal, like they did with Declan Rice, to just go in there and drop what 100 million for Ivan Toney without any questions to suddenly inflate the market. Everybody loves blaming Chelsea. Oh, you inflated the market. No, it wasn't Chelsea that brought that 100 million on the table for the midfielders this summer. A lid could have been kept on it. Yes, we paid 106 for Enzo, but Enzo is a World Cup winner and he's a young player and he signed a 9-year contract. So that's a little bit different, but of course they won't be practical or objective with us. They'll always try and vilify us and demonize Chelsea with whatever they do. So let's see what happens. But I'm glad we're looking at someone else and it's being publicized.
Yep. Let's see. Hear what the people have to say. And to be more objective, I think we have to look back 2 seasons more. We have to look at his Viktor Gyökeres, his 22-23 season, and even 22, 21, 22, and maybe go back even further. But the signs are good. Actually, I think he's been scoring frequently, in my opinion. But here's the thing. My only argument is that he's been in the top flight for just 1 season, and you can argue right now the argument which is the argument that will make more sense when you talk about him is just that yeah he's in form, he's in good form. But let's see. Just give me a second here. Let's see what people have to say here. Yeah, 122 million. Yep, it's a bargain compared to Casado. I think I agree. Yep, for Victor Osimhen, 112 million pounds is a bargain because he get his goal. Big up coach and Roger Chimera. Nice to see you. It's big up coach and Bobby. I have just finished reading the book named The Brave New World. Okay, Inside Pochettino's Spurs. I haven't read that. I think Jerry Z have read it. Let's see why I don't like having conversation about Viktor Gyökeres is that I want to believe my club will not pay so much for a guy with lesser experience. I think I wouldn't use the term lesser experience, except if you be more specific, saying lesser experience in the top flight, and that's because he's played from even let's see how many goals he scored in 2019. He started playing as in the German Bundesliga with what club? Is that in 2019, 2020? So he's been there for a while. So his experience, maybe we have to be specific in terms of the fact that he's played. You can say he's only inexperienced in terms of how long he's played top flight football, in my opinion. Again, he said, I wanted to believe my club will not pay so much for a guy with lesser experience until I know they will take 40 million, then I will. I don't think, here's the thing, if we sign him, I'd be happy. But I'm not, but please not for 100 million euros. Santiago Jimenez for 40 million, that's another player I like. And if you've heard me talk about him before, I've said, in my opinion, he's the more complete of all the players we've been linked with. And players from the Netherlands tend to do well in the Premier League. Correct me if I'm wrong. From Robin van Persie, there are others. Vanessa Roy, just those that I remember. Santiago Jimenez, for me, he's an excellent as a player. He's complete. He has good vision, excellent on the ball. He can finish with his head, with his foot also, and he's not just stereotypical number 9. in my opinion. But it seems like we're not that interested in signing him. Jackson isn't doing it. His thing, Jackson for me is not a number 9. Villarreal, he plays. You said, and I'm not quite sure even actually have the season where they had an issue in the attacking area, so he was converted to a striker. That was why maybe we signed him as a number 9, but for me, he's not a number 9. If we can let Jackson be Jackson, he would do a lot more for us on the flanks, on the wings, or as in the 10 position where the application will be more of that of a second striker than a number 10, if that makes sense. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes do go along with Poch. It's good with youngsters after reading his book. I don't even need to read. I think if you follow them, his coaching career, you'd know that. Yeah, that's the truth. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. How many likes? 23 likes. Come on, people. We should be doing way much better than that. But I would take that. So let's look at his numbers. Let's not just stick with 23, 24, where he's been excellent. He's in form. I fully agree with Bobby that we should buy a striker in January, because in the summer, I think a good striker could cost us 160 million plus. Because if clubs find out that we're interested in signing a particular player, they usually get the player to put pen to paper for a new contract and add a beyond ridiculous release clause. That's why I use the term redonkulous. It'd be something more than a premium, in my opinion. Gold this time. Osimhen, and I would buy Jimenez as well. Yeah, we can have them both. That's because Jimenez is more of a hybrid than he is a traditional number 9, if possible. Osimhen, world class, and Jimenez as a backup, no pressure, and can actually both of them can be on the pitch. With Chelsea, we need depth. We need super depth, not just. We don't want a situation where a player that comes off the bench. Certainly, if we have to play with a player off the bench, that means that the standards would drop. Yeah, but if we have that much quality, whoever comes on will do a good job, and sometimes do an even better job than the player he's replacing. Tiba Salifai saying, Bobby, in 2001, Real spent 77 million on Zizou, despite having a revenue of 138 million that year. But the year before, that's 58.8% of revenue, not profit, spent on one guy. They broke football, not Chelsea. Wow, that's some comment right there. There are a lot of strikers out there, but our issue, you can say, in our case, we're looking for established strikers. We have a lot of young stars that would take time to come good, some of them. So we need to mix it up with experience to find a balance to start performing immediately. And that's because maybe the owners, they've realized that the kids alone will not do it for us. They're way too inconsistent, and kids will always be kids. I think we need to get left back. We've talked about that. I think that may well happen. Jackson will be much better with Nkunku alongside. I think we'll find out. Yeah, it won't take a while, and we'll find out. Can they also play 2 up front if needed for new coach after Poch? Possibly, you never know. So let's look at just need a 2 number 9 to have the 2 different profiles, maybe. But Poch is not known to play with traditional number 9s. That's I've always said that. So for Viktor Gyökeres, for 23-24 season, he's played a total of 19 games, 13 in the Portuguese league, 1 Portuguese League Cup, and 5 UEFA Champions League Cup. Okay, matches, and he scored a total of 16 matches in 19 games in total, which means he's averaging nearly 1 goal per game right now, and it's just 0.77, so that's correct. And he has 5 assists. I like that. I like to see that from my striker. So let's go back to 22-23. And what club was he playing for at the time? Championship in England. The Championship. He also participated in the FA Cup and UEFA Nations League for his country. So, so he played how many games in total? 55 matches in total, 49 matches in the Championship.
Can I add something about this?
Yeah, go ahead.
This striker. One thing, a lot of our fans are not really taking into consideration the fact that it often takes a striker at least one, two, sometimes even 3 seasons to hit form. Didier Drogba, it took him, I think, 2 seasons to really become the Drogba we talk about today. Real Madrid has had many strikers that they've got and they flop. Like there's that what's his name? Is it Jokic? He was linked to us at one time. Jovic.
The
Um,
young kid,
yeah,
Luka Jovic. He scored
yeah,
against
he
us. I
went
think.
there.
What
Yeah, that's
competition was
it.
that exactly? I can't quite remember.
Yeah, it was a Champions League qualifier, a
Europa
league
League.
game or Europe, whatever. But he never made it at Real Madrid. He struggled, and even the great Karim Benzema that we're talking of today, he was in the shadows for years, at least 3, 4 seasons before he became the Benzema we know now. So I think we should, whatever happens, all this attack on Jackson, and Jackson has 7 goals this season, lest we forget. Yeah, they're
Mhm.
always going to come out with, oh gosh, he scored against flailing Spurs and all that. Listen, that's not his fault. He could have got more that day. We beat Spurs fair and square, hands down. They fluffed their lines or whatever it is they were doing, and we did exactly what we should do. In fact, we didn't quite do what we should do, but this geezer got a hat trick.
Go ahead,
So
Bobby. I'll be back in a few seconds. Go ahead.
whoever we get next, he's going to be need to be given some sort of time. It's very, very rare you get a striker just turn up in a team in the Premier League and start ripping up trees. It's rare. People talk about Van Nistelrooy at Man United. I think it took him a season and a half to get going. Even the great Robin Van Persie had to settle in for a season. You name it. People are talking about this guy, Jamie Vardy. Well, look how long it took him to bloom in his entire career, not to mention at Leicester. So, we need to tone down our expectations to reality. And, I hope and pray when we get this, this striker, if we get this Victor guy, who I can't say I know, but, if we get him, that fans will understand that it's got to take time. Time has to be the name of the game. And it seems so funny to me that back in the day when people were talking about time, oh, Chelsea don't have patience, oh, they sack their managers quickly, oh, they do this quickly, they do that quickly. Well, now we're trying to do things with time. Fans are complaining, not good enough. It's attacking Jackson, and it's quite amusing to me. One thing is certain, whatever we do next, and certainly with a striker, he's got to be given time to settle in. That's why we have to make the right choice, because
Yeah.
the issue is not whether they will score, but whether they will actually make good use of their settling in time and fulfill their potential.
All right, thank you so much. In the championship for 22-23, he scored a total of 23 goals in 55 matches. You can say not bad. Nearly 50%. Nearly you can say half a goal per game for Lacko. Yep, 0.44 per goals per 90 minutes. That's not bad. A bad return at all. And then in 21-22. He played 49 matches and scored 17 goals. Wow, 17 of them in the championship. Not in the World Cup qualifier, not on international friendlies. And in 2020 to 2021, 2021, in 39 matches, he scored 7 goals in total, and 3 of them in the championship in 13 matches. I think he's picked up form. He's you can say it's been upward. He's been in an upward trajectory from 21 from 20 to 21, 22, and now he's on fire. But here's the argument will still come in that this is his first year in in top flight football. For me, he's good. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm not saying the fact that he was playing the championship last season doesn't mean he's good. But wow, 87 million pounds. I think it's too much. Let's see what the club does. Yes, coach. I meant top flight experience. You know, it matters for confidence. It does in so many ways. Yeah, but that doesn't mean we should pay that much money for him, even though he's in an excellent form right now. We got average striker, and we will score a lot. We will score a lot of goals against teams that do low block against us. Okay, let's see what else we have here. A world class striker doesn't need a season to perform. Okay. Harry Kane also started as a bench warmer at Norwich City and Leicester City. People have short memories. Yeah, but it's not the same for everybody. There's no guarantee that you sign a particular player and yeah, they will be firing all cylinders the
Coach,
moment they join you. When you buy
Coach,
a prop,
whoever wrote that statement that a world class striker doesn't need a season to perform, really, apart from Cristiano Ronaldo and maybe well Messi came through the Barcelona ranks anyway, so he had a whole youth system to perform. Look,
Mhm,
there is. I don't think you can name one striker. Okay, people will say Harry Kane at Bayern. Bayern, really? A league that only has one team? Of course, he's going to be performing there. Yes, you need to be good enough to do that. But believe me, if Timo Werner's scoring goals there, then most people can score goals there. And I mean that very respectfully. Look, you've got to give at least a season in the Premier League. The Premier League is a whole different kettle of fish. And you see what I'm saying? These people, if we get a striker, even if it's Osimhen, you're gonna find that they'll be on his back every weekend he doesn't bang one in. And I tell you, if we get Osimhen, even Ivan Toney's going to need a little time to get used to playing football again in the Premier League. And if we get
mhm,
Osimhen, he's got to take time. I've watched him at Napoli, and believe me, the pace, the space, and the whole setup is going to be very different in the Premier League, especially playing for Chelsea, where managers have targeted you, studied you, defenders are trying to play to to your game, and you've got to almost be reinventing yourself every move. No, I refute that statement. It will take a season at least, and we have to at least give that season for the player to bed in.
all right, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And when you buy a proper world class striker, he performs pretty much straight away. I think there are factors you're not considering. Adapting to the manager's preferred approach. Even, but I get where you're coming from, but I don't think it's like that. Even for the what so-called world what's you can say world class strikers. Funny enough, a friend of mine, Viktor Gyökeres, was mentioned 1 year ago to me for a player to watch out for 1 year after we are on about him again. Yep. I think he's a good player, but my concern is the price tag. Gyökeres highlight looks weak. He's another one that needs developing. He has no power in his shot. Maybe he's more of a finesse guy than he is that of a power shooter. Hold up is very poor and no pace. He's not elite material. No more scraps, please. Okay, that's from another perspective, actually. Uh, well, I'm not sure what you're saying. The WhatsApp, amigo. I'm not sure what you're saying there. Give Jackson 68. He will still not be ready. Ephraim Achin, that's some argument right there. Chelsea don't have that time. We'll find out. Let's see. So you're buying a 112 million pounds a striker to give time this season. No, here's the thing. That's the Chelsea fans thing. But no matter how you see it, no matter how good that player is, I think they will not be perfect from the start, in my opinion. Um, let's see. I want Bobby to be my boss. Okay. Big up legends. I am listening mode today. Have some people over. First of all, wishing you all a Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you too, Glenn. I hope you're doing well. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show, and thank you for the updates you sent me. I will share that on the screen in a bit. And here's to you, my friend. Let's see what we have here. Glenn, 10 second. Just seen a email extended. Yep, you've shared that update to me and you just ruined it. Okay. Bobby standards are so low in touch and earth core. Okay, I'm gonna leave that. I shouldn't be reading such. That's a conversation between you and him. Here's Stin. Let's come to this. This one here, the report that Glenn just shared with me. It's important we look at it. Um, but I think it's nothing different from what we've addressed already. I think the release clause is still around the region of the amount we discussed. So that's Fabrizio Romano reporting. That's actually a few minutes ago. Viktor Osimhen has signed a new deal at Napoli, valid until 2026. Still 2 years, about 2 years plus left on the contract. You can say, yeah, you can say that's the case. Release clause will be in the region of 130 million done and sealed. So he made sure he has an exit plan there, which makes sense. I think this contract is more of Napoli securing their asset, and they were able to convince him to please do that for them. I think they know he will eventually leave them. You could say in a year's time or maybe in the summer. So all they did was just what I think what's his name, this Niger bro called it loyalty. Maybe I think he used the term loyalty contract, just to make sure if they sell him, they get a sizable fee, and they've succeeded in doing that. Good thing that's a buyer clause. So if you're serious, if you want him, you just pay, and you don't have to negotiate anything with De Laurentiis, except maybe if we want to pay the release clause on certain terms, which I think will not work with De Laurentiis, in my opinion. Let's see what we have here. I trust the process. It will be, and Majesty saying it will be ups. There will be ups and downs of for at least 2 seasons. We need patience. We do need patience. These players will come good. It will take time, but because we want to be participating in European competitions, we want to make at least a top four. We want to win trophies here and there. Even before that time comes, we need to mix it up with some experience. That's just my opinion.
You're right,
Let's see.
coach. But
Yeah.
Chelsea fans, you're right. But Chelsea fans are the only people that I know of that get impatient with a 19-year-old. Look at how this whole Sky Sports media and the app are banging on. Oh, Man United will field one young player, and they're made to look so noble, so this, so that,
Mhm.
and everybody making excuses for the player. Chelsea put in 19-year-old Leslie Ugochukwu to carry an entire defensive midfield in a whole new squad. He makes one or two developmental errors, and they're all on his back, as if he's a seasoned pro. Carney Chukwemeka, at that same age, he goes to Liverpool and slips in the 18-yard box in an offensive move,
Mhm.
something that could happen to anybody. They're all on his back. Benoit Badiashile against Newcastle, he didn't actually make a mistake. He just kicked the ball and it hit his other shin and ricocheted in the wrong direction. Okay, it was a mistake. It was clumsy. Whatever it is, it happens. It happens to seasoned defenders. This guy's 22 years old. He might look a seasoned defender, but even he's developing his game and they're all on his back. I mean, come on. These guys are just, they're kids and we've got to give them time. And, even the strikers, if we get someone like Osimhen or this Victor guy, for their age, they're very young. For their position, they're still very young in terms of reaching their optimization. And, they're going to do one or two silly things. Will we allow them to do these things? Well, certainly not this fan base. Thank God Drogba came when he came, because I remember when he first started, boy, did he make a few silly things. He didn't really understand the Premier League, so he was, diving, for want of a better word, thinking, that was how to get along. And it took him a while. It really took him a while. And time is the watchword for us now. Time.
Yep. Okay. Thank you, Bobby. I'll come back to the panel, and I want Roger Dodger to speak. And we have Jackson was always bought as a backup and developing, in my opinion, and Kunku to be men. I think that's a solid argument, actually. Glenn Tan, Glenn, nice to see you once more. I think I've said hello to you. Have you heard about Valentino Barco, who we are scouting for Strasbourg? Then for us, I haven't. Nope. Majesty saying, I think it's wrong to expect the results right away. And I've said that 1,000 times. If you came into the season expecting Chelsea to be playing at the same level as Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and even Brighton, then you don't understand football. We as fans need to support rather than criticizing, which will boost the players' confidence. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. I don't know how many likes do we have now. Shamefully, the likes are really dragging this morning. 28 likes and not too many views, but I can understand that. But keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. Let's get it up to 100 if we can. Yes, of course, kids need time season, but when you buy a world-class player established at all level, he needs to impact straight away. Drogba was not bought as a world-class striker. He developed into that. So, which means this comment says you actually, second part of your comment, I think you're agreeing with Bobby. Time is needed, in my opinion. But Chelsea is not a kindergarten for baby players to learn football. People's investment is at a stake here. Yeah, then those people that are making the investment should also understand that we need to balance things out to start doing well immediately. World class players don't need time, not a whole season, in my humble opinion. Okay, I like the disclaimer there. Why I don't use the term a lot. Okay. Roger, Dodger, welcome to the panel. I appreciate you finding the time to join us this particular morning. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, lateness is greatness. You're not that too late, but in a bit, I want to do again 2 hours into the show. We'll have to do the giveaway. So if you're following the show on Instagram, on X, formerly known as Twitter, or on Facebook, you're better off participating in the show here on YouTube because we'll do a giveaway, and I think the plan is to do it 3 consecutive days to appreciate all our followers. But you don't actually you can again you even if you become a member of the community today, it doesn't matter to us as long as you subscribe. You get a chance to win that. Roger, here's the thing. If you can see the screen of Viktor Gyökeres for 87 million pounds. Ivan Toney, Brentford have said they're not going to sell him for anything less than 100 million pounds. Viktor Osimhen's release clause is equivalent to. So let's look at that report from Fabrizio Romano. But that's even not that particular report also isn't that specific to. Where he's saying the release clause will be in the region of 130 million, which means he's not sure of the correct number there. So let me just convert that 130 million euros to pounds. Just quickly, Roger. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Yeah, 130 M2 pounds. Okay, let's see if that's correct now. So yeah, so that's pretty much correct. So it's 112 million pounds plus. You can say the minute aspect of the whole numbers, but I don't want to look at those. But Roger, what do you make of it? What do you think the club should do? But according to recent reports, our focus is on Viktor Gyökeres. And I've also mentioned the fact that the new owners, there's a pattern to the way they make signings. They put up smoke screens here and there, and they look at multiple targets at the same time. And which was why we were looking at what's his name, the guy that plays for West Ham United right now, Kudus. We were also looking at Turkey. We were also looking at Cole Palmer. Nobody knew it was going to be Cole Palmer. So chances are it may end up being Osimhen. The release clause is there. If we pay it, we'll get him. But maybe they will have an issue negotiating the payment term with De Laurentiis. He's a shrewd businessman. You know that. But let's hear you, Roger. What do you make of it? The price tag and the fact that it's looking like as if our focus is on Gyökeres. I can't pronounce his last name correctly. Sorry.
Yeah. Hello, gentlemen. Bobby,
Hello
sir, and coach. Absolute pleasure as always, Bobby. Good to hear your voice, sir. Listen.
So Bobby was fine. He was just forced into going to a
I heard.
break.
Yeah.
He went on a holiday with his family. Yeah,
that's cool. No, it's not exactly the Bahamas here right now, so I get what he's talking about. Not too many palm trees in Blackpool, if you know what I mean. Listen, I'm still coming to terms with the fact that we pay more than £1 million for Jerry Francis. I mean, to me, this is monopoly money. It's just so nonsensical, gentlemen. I don't know what to say. I had a problem with 30 million for N'Golo Kante. I thought that was absurd then. It's hard to fathom and comprehend the prices of players now. It seems like your average, I wouldn't say elite, but your average, very good, solid player with potential is about 50 million, it seems. It's just, I'm hesitant to pull any trigger because of how we've done historically in this position specifically. It hasn't exactly, wow, 2-0 West Ham. Yeah. It just doesn't, it scares me because we haven't exactly been successful, shall we say, over the years. Of course, there's Drogba, of course, which is one of the greatest ever purchases, and Diego Costa, no doubt about it. But those are two amazing purchases. But conversely speaking, look at the other purchases like a Shevchenko, like a Torres, etc. That like the woolly mammoth, and I could go on. It's just they've come back to bite us in the gluteus maximus, coach, and but Bobby's right. I mean, and I've been critical of Jackson, because of his lack of aerial ability and because of the fact that, guess what, he is playing out of position, and we need to take that into consideration. And that's why I always use the term "thus far." That doesn't mean to say that any player that we talk about can't make that transition to another level or an elite level where they're just average right now, let's say, hypothetically. So, but it does take time. Bobby's right. It is very, very few exceptions that a player comes in and hits the ground running. It's fairy tale Hollywood stuff. It's so rare. This is a very competitive, physical, fast-paced league. You'll hear every single manager talk about it, whether I'm talking about overseas manager, by the way, from all continents. It's so hard to get that player. And honestly, do we have time? Probably not, but we have to do what we have to do. I'm concerned. I don't know this player, to be honest with you. I'm not familiar with him.
He was in the championship last season.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is his first experience in a top flight football. But go ahead, what you were saying.
But doesn't that concern
That doesn't
everybody?
mean much. Jamie Vardy.
No, it doesn't mean much, but it's still a point.
No, yeah. It's to be taken into context, right? But I mean, listen, he could be our next Drogba. He could conversely be our next woolly mammoth. It's just this seems like an inordinate amount of money, to gamble on. But I perhaps we need it. But I'd like to see more of our number 9s this year. You never know. Jackson could shine. He could step it up. So could Broja. We don't know. They're unknown entities and quantities thus far in their career. And let's be honest, they haven't exactly been afforded the luxury of playing with a stable, continuous set of starters, based on the injury depletion, I should say, with our squad. So that's a huge factor also with a new coaching staff. It's not just one thing you can put your thumb on. There's a myriad of different reasons why our number 9s haven't been, shall we say, can be more consistent. I think Jackson, I think I need to maybe rein back my criticism of him more because after all, he's not a natural number 9. This is not his natural position. And I say that in a non-derogatory sense. He is, for all intents and purposes, being played out of position.
He only played as a number 9. You could say half a season.
Yeah,
maybe not even up to half a season. Yeah.
Yeah, in a different league, So that's why even Osimhen, even though he's going to cost an arm and a leg, worries me. But then again, Toney, there's no guarantee just because Toney's been successful in this league. There's no guarantee that he could be successful with us. That nothing is guaranteed. So this worries me also. Plus his off-field issues, obviously, and reports saying that he's going to cost 100 million. This is fantasy money. It's mind-boggling. I mean, realistically, you would think between 30 and 50 tops, but I guess it's what free market economy, right?
Yeah,
What the
they
market
inserted the
bears.
clause when he signed for them.
Yeah, no,
Um,
and so did Osimhen. I get what Osimhen's done. It basically guarantees the fact that he's going to stay in Italy this season and probably be sold in the next transfer window at summertime at the end of this year. That's what it basically guarantees. So listen, we could have someone come from our academy, step up, and be the next Drogba. We don't know. It's just I'm gun shy. I got to admit, I'm not being negative. I'm apprehensive, gentlemen. I really am. But then again, if we don't spend the
Roger,
money,
can I
yeah, go
just
for it.
add?
Yeah, of course.
The economies of scale with which you're using to measure these purchases are outdated. This is the
I
price now.
agree. Yeah, it's
This
the,
is the
what the market
normality now.
bears. Yeah.
Unless you are lucky enough, as you say, to suddenly develop or have someone come through the academy, which is what we've been hoping for with Armando Broja, which, to be fair to Pochettino, is why he has sort of persisted with him. Regardless of his injury, he would have kept him anyway. But outside of that, to make a purchase of a top striker, unless your scouting system is extraordinarily good, and indeed, you have to be very lucky because everything is left to be seen. This is the economy of scale. You're talking of 100 million upwards. This is why Brentford are doing what they're doing with Ivan Toney. This is why Napoli have done this with Osimhen, because at the moment, they are the two most high-profile players that we know in the market. Now, there may be some hidden gems somewhere, but you will never know. You might go to South America. I believe David Washington could probably be an excellent striker for us. But, all these are time scale dependent, just as a purchase will be time scale dependent in its own right. But as for the money, this is where we are now. It's not going to change.
No, I understand that. You're right. It's what the market bears. I get that. Like house prices, correct? It's just that I'm not sure how sustainable this can be, but yeah, I'm worried about our financial disposition, with financial fair play, etc. Also, it's just we spent a pretty penny the last few transfer windows, and we have to be judicious with our purchases. I believe. I don't think we can afford much leeway for any failures, but then again, nothing is guaranteed. It's I think it's a quandary right now. It really is for us. This is we have to minimize our defensive errors and we have to be more clinical. These are the two issues I have with our club currently. We have to how shall I put this? We have to rectify these shortcomings, and they are significant, which is why we're in 10th, and other reasons too, by the way. But these two need to be addressed. They really do.
Yep. So Roger, get over it. Stop being cheap. I had to read that one because I can't just be reading Roger is the best. Roger is here. So even though if I see such, I will read it. Roger talks like it's his money. No, that part, no, but being objective is a good thing. Forget that. I'm not reading that one. United in the mud. We're not going to see Rashi today. Please, guys, like the stream. Roger on fire today. You see,
Really?
Roger, all I do is read all the good stuff about you. So I liked reading that one that asks you to stop being cheap there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes that go along with 33 likes. It doesn't look like we'll do well with the likes today. Kudus would have been perfect for us, a versatile forward, and was cheap. No idea why we didn't sign him. We went for Palmer, and for me, I still prefer Palmer. Palmer is more of a creator. and can do both. He's not done bad for us. I think overall our team have we've struggled as a team, but I think Palmer, had we been playing better, Palmer probably sure right now we'll have more goals and more assists. So I'm not regretting anything. I'm not regretting anything, but I get it. If you should go to tweet, come on to X and see what people are saying right now, especially after him scoring the second goal for West Ham today. But that's why we will move on. Yeah, we could. That's it. Just move on. We don't have him, and yeah, just move on, bro. Move on. He's signed for West Ham. He's a West Ham player now. We have Palmer. We have others, and that players will come good. We as a unit was struggling. That's because we have an entirely new squad. So we're not going to see the best of our players right now until, we start playing as a unit. Please, recruitment board, get us another Palmer. Yeah, exactly. I like Palmer in my opinion. Let us, spend what we can because unlike Barca, we have a 75 billion clear leg to bail us out if we ever have 1.4 billion in debt. I'm not sure what to say that. We also have the Super League to fall back to if we breach FFP and get a 3-year European ban like AC Milan had a few years ago. Wow. I don't always have to be. It don't always has to be big names. Yep. Like I think Bobby said that too, and I think Roger did mention that too. I'd rather get a solid mid-price individuals that help the team instead of one superstar that may or may not hit the ground running, and one superstar that if you mark him out, the team is done. And yeah, sign solid names that will grow and become better in the future. Palmer's price was peanut compared to some of the rest, and look at him. Exactly. So it's not about how much you pay for a player. It's about the player, the quality himself, and a lot of other factors, in my opinion. Everyone knows that Chelsea need a striker to have any chance to get into the top four again. FFP is okay at the moment, we've been told. Palmer's price was not peanuts, but I understand what you mean. Peanut compared to how well he's doing, in my opinion. And he's at the same age. Yeah, they're all of the same age bracket.
Palmer's price falls into the economy of scale. It's a
and you can
huge
still,
amount of money. 47 million for someone of his age. It's peanuts compared to all the other
yeah.
pricings.
So yeah,
But
you have to bring the age factor into the conversation. Go ahead, Bobby.
I mean, we can remember a time you're spending 47 million on a striker, you've spent top dollar. I mean, crikey, remember when Fernando Torres came and he was 55 million and we were all screaming and shouting and jumping through hoops.
That was
Now look at that.
obscene,
You pick
wasn't
up
it?
a top
Yeah.
striker for 55 million and you be talking about, sale of the century. So the economy of scale is totally inflated. The reasons for that is multiple. Will it come down? No. Unless
Yep.
the whole world financial system crashes with the money going into football and ever increasing, so will the prices. Very soon we're heading towards the purchase of the £1 billion player. It will happen. The Saudis are on the street now and they've got money to spend and they will add to the inflation of prices.
Yeah.
So hold on to your hats, guys. We shouldn't balk too much at prices. We should only hope and pray that we pick the right one because with every purchase has to be that element of luck that it works.
Yeah, I do agree
Yeah.
with you. So yeah, Palmer for me, I think the price is peanut. I can't believe I'm agreeing with Roger and Bobby today. Compared, given the fact, he's of the same age bracket of most of the players who paid hundreds of millions, 100 million plus for. Big up coach and panel. Looks like Osimhen isn't leaving Napoli in January. No, I think
No.
I think no. Here's the thing. No, I'm not saying no. Definitely, I'm not agreeing with him. I'm saying no. He could still leave in January if anybody is willing to pay 112 million pounds the release clause. Yeah, that's just the thing. I think according to Fabrizio Romano, I think the release clause will be active in 2024 immediately. So if you want him in January, just pay them the money and he's gone. And the fact that he didn't extend the contract by like let's say 3, 4, 5 years is that he's ready to leave, to move on. So they just got him to put pen to paper for an extension because they want to get a sizable fee from his son, in my opinion. But nice to see you, Wally World. I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. Big up, coach at Chelsea FC for life with Joshua Dan. Thank you for saying that, brother. I hope you're doing well. Our set piece needed to be better on beating the low blocks. Please, can we keep the topics aligned? Otherwise, I'm going to be skipping whatever you have there. Aston Villa needed a set piece to draw with Sheffield United. I think they deserve to win that game, actually. Why not, Waldo? I told you something. Let's see what else we have here. He's just penned a new contract deal, huge wage bill until 2026. Release clause, it's there. That's the thing. That's the magic. The magic 2 words is the release clause. The magic 2-word sentence is the release clause. Yep. If you trigger that, that's it. You don't even have to deal with the Lorientas, except what I know Chelsea would do, probably seeking a more convenient payment terms. I think he's not going to agree to that. I think we need only world-class players from now on if we want to start, you can say, achieving stuff immediately. But it's still, even signing 1, 2, 3 so-called world class players won't make so much of a difference. They will still need time to adapt and learn to play with the younger players, in my opinion. I didn't know it was only a 112. Yep, less than we paid for Casado. And for me, if we're gonna get a good scorer, pay that much money for him, even more, I'll take him. That is if the manager can work with him. And that's how they set up for this moment. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. That being said, Mbappe in the summer, and it's over. Do you think we can get? I think he's destined for Real Madrid. No, that's not going to change. I don't see that changing, except if he maybe doesn't agree and you say fail to reach an agreement for his salary and all that. But I think he's headed to Real Madrid. We all know that. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go along with Jude. Let's come to you. Let's hear you. Gyökeres, Ivan Toney, or Osimhen, which of the players, and what do you make of the price tag on Gyökeres? Let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning, Coach. Good morning, everybody on the panel, and everybody, listening and in the chat room. Well, first of all of them, like Bobby said, we can't expect it to take a miracle for Ivan Toney to hit the ball, to hit the floor running immediately. This guy has been off the pitch. So his case reminds me of the first time I bought a Volvo car, then in the UK, and I moved to Nigeria. I went to Nigeria, I sent to Nigeria. And the car has been down for a long time. And I would drive it and it wouldn't move. It wouldn't move well. And they would check that nothing is wrong, everything is okay. Then I now went to a very local mechanic, and the guy told me, oh, this car is not utilized. The engine is meant to fire all the time, blah, blah, blah. He said I should travel somewhere. So I started to go to Kaduna for a weekend. And then I drove to Kaduna, 2 hours ride from Abuja. And after that, on a very high speed, after that, the whole problem stopped. So Ivan Toney.
Can I help you with the description of that? A description of that is when you buy a car new, you have to run it in. And you can't go over a certain speed, say about 70 or 80, for about 80 miles. Then after that, you can put your foot down and the car will give you all it's got. If you start trying to accelerate earlier than that, you're going to have a bad car. And this is just the same as what you're trying to explain with the player.
Exactly. So so now he needs that trip now is a run of matches. So do we have that time to give him that run of matches for him to get himself to fitness before the fans start turning against him? If we can
let him drop. Go ahead.
If we can, we could do him because he's a Premier League boy and he's gonna be around all the time. That's his own. And of course, when it comes to England, he doesn't rank among top 2 strikers for the national team. There are people ahead of him in the pecking order, so he might even be more available for Chelsea. So when it comes to Victor, Victor is active and all that. And like you always say, is going for AFCON. And though AFCON is not like forever, but I wish we've been at the top before AFCON. Then we can say, okay, let's risk it and let our striker go for AFCON. But we've not been at the top. We need to get to the like top 5 or top 6. We are at the bottom half. You understand? We need to go up. So there is no time to waste. So for Victor, well, like I said earlier, if only his pay. I checked him out and I saw that he has tenacity. He's quite good. That's the Viktor Gyökeres. I don't know how to pronounce it very well. Sorry, but I
Gyökeres,
think
maybe I'm not
yeah,
too sure either.
yeah. But I think he's a very good lad. But that amount is just too ridiculous for somebody who has not really had a top flight experience for too long. And £100 million for Ivan Toney is also like a gamble for a player that has been off the pitch for a while. I wish he also played this season and banged in over 20 goals again like the other time. Then he will have been worth that amount of money. I also think Brentford is asking for too much. So and anybody going there is just going to do like a gamble, like you're going to casino. You could get, it could be good, it could be bad. Like we signed Torres. Torres then was like a gamble. He had a serious injury. We paid £50 million. That was a lot of money back then for him, and it was a lot of problem. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't see Torres as a flop because at least he gave us that golden goal. But be that as it may, and then he did well in the UEFA Cup. But be that as it may, I think between the three of them, the only very active person is Osimhen, Viktor Osimhen, considering the AFCON thing. So, but I think I will still be able to gamble on him than Ivan Toney, because the reason is because we need a striker that can come and change things. Because what do they call him? Jackson and Brojard, those guys cannot really take us. They can't be at the top. They need time. So we can't afford to sign somebody that will also need too much of time. Then at the end of the day, it might be too bad for us. I'm not expecting anything this season, but I'll be very happy if we can win that Carling Cup. It will really calm our nerves, and it will be good for Pochettino himself. It will be good for the owners themselves. Yeah, if you look at the owners' project, the difference between these owners and Roman is that these guys are taking their time to build. It looks very stupid. It looks like they are not thinking. That's what it looks like to us. But if they are able to get it right, we'll have a Chelsea that will be able to challenge for a long time. You remember in the time of Roman, who can win league this season, the next season is going to be a flop, and managers get sacked. That's because it wasn't a proper planning for a long-term success. So that's what these guys are trying to lay the foundation for. And it's not going to happen automatically. It's not going to happen overnight. So that's why I've learned to limit my expectation. And for the fact that I have heard now from Terry that our coach does not really have a say as such in terms of from transfer. And then Matlaw confirmed it. And Matlaw said it's the nature of Poch wherever he has worked, that Poch has never been that guy that goes to demand for a particular player. That he works with what he's giving to him. That's his nature. It's not about maybe he's doing it because Chelsea owners want him. And that's why they hired him. He's not going to ask you for anything. He will just tell you, I need a midfielder. And then you go get him a midfielder. You understand? He said his words are, he's not like your Mourinho and what's the name of this guy that won us the last league? Antonio Conte, that will tell you, I want this guy, I want that guy. If you don't give me that guy, I'm quitting. He said Poch is not like that. He was whatever you give him. So we have a manager like that. I'll be happy if he wins the League Cup. We haven't won it in a long time. So if we can, I'll be very happy. And that is where he can really prove himself that he's a top coach. Because hopefully Fulham is able to pull a surprise and knock what do they call them? Knock Liverpool out. Then it's going to be easy for us to defeat Fulham than to defeat a Liverpool. But
then whenever you go to church, just
Please,
remind God we
easy.
need that to happen.
Nothing's easy. Nothing is easy.
Yeah, not like easy, but it's going to be easier for us to defeat
You can't
Fulham.
even take Middlesbrough for granted. It's not easy.
Yeah,
you
let's
really have
deal
to
with
put in the
Middlesbrough first. I agree.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we will be needing a lot of patience, and it's good to know that Todd Bowley has backed out of anything transfer. Matt Law said he's facing his business squarely. That the guy on ground now is Egbali, and I think Egbali is a very good negotiator. And he doesn't throw out the money as much as Bowley was doing initially. So he said Egbali is the one working with the sporting director, that they are working
Mali has
together.
always been the money anyway. He's the money. He's clearly.
Yeah, he's a clear lake. Yeah, that's true. So he said that this guy, was it, Matt Law, said Todd Bowley is hardly in England these days. That he travels a lot, and I realized I don't see him in games like I used to before. Like every game in Stamford Bridge is always there, but I've not been seeing him in a while. So he said it's Egbali that is on ground now in England. He's always in England most of the time. That he's working with the sporting directors, and they are doing the scouting together, and they are making the decisions together. So we need to calm down. It's not going to be the same Chelsea you used to know for a long time. And I hope they get it right. If they get it right, Chelsea is going to be like a Man City that will just be at the top for a very long time. That is what it's going to be.
Yep, thank you so much. Let's give those in the chat the microphone. We'll come back and we'll do the giveaway and we'll continue the conversation. I think we'll be this time I think we'll be free form once we're done with the giveaway, but we can bring up a topic, Roger. But we'll start with Roger, who joined us. He was late. A coach with that mentality, given world-class players time, we will never get that. Yeah, but if you pay for them and not give them time, doesn't change anything if you decide not to give them time. If you get my opinion there, Vovos are the most reliable. Okay, let's see. Mbappe scoring 50 goals against Barca. Only 2 teams in it. Wow. Yeah. PSG, they haven't pulled out. Okay, Real Madrid and Barcelona. Yeah, only 2 teams, and that says a lot. Those are the 2 teams you can argue they have financial issues. Probably they're looking for more money. They're the ones pushing mainly for that. And Santiago Mono, big up to you two here. And Wally, what they're saying, every striker these days are strikers these days are a huge gamble. For example, Rasmus Højlund, even since he came to the Premier League, he's gone on a 12-game goal drought. Maybe they signed him because his name ain't like that of Haaland. Yeah, maybe they thought he performed like him. But let's see what else we have. Osimhen would only miss like 1-2 Premier League games. But my argument is that it depends on where they finish in the competition. Yeah, have you? I don't know. Maybe you've done your research and you're quite sure. Even if Nigeria makes it to the final of the competition, it'd still be just 1-2 Premier League games. But here's something else I want to let you know. We are right now don't have the luxury to miss any player that will be that important. That you can say that's important to us, if that makes sense. But you get my argument there. But let's see what happens. Type Merry Christmas to participate in the giveaway. We'll do that in a bit. So it's gonna be $50 if you emerge the winner. You don't have to be a student to win this one. So if you're following the show on Instagram or you're following the show on X, formerly known as Twitter, or on Facebook, come join us on YouTube, and you must be subscribed to the channel to participate. So we do a $50 giveaway. I want to do it for 3 consecutive days to appreciate the members, whether you're a new member or not. It doesn't really matter, but we're happy that we're getting closer and closer to 18,000 subscribers. Right now, we need just 10 more subscribers, 9 more, actually, 1 more person just subscribe to get to 18,000 subscribers. And hopefully by the time the general transfer window will be shut, we'll be up to 20,000 subscribers. I will work hard, and I know you too, as the community members, will also work hard for us to get to 100,000 subscribers in 2024. I believe we can do that. Type Merry Christmas to participate in the giveaway. Merry Christmas. Each word in that hashtag starting with a capital letter. Whether you're a panelist, you can also participate, but you have to be on YouTube to participate. Yep. Let's see what else we have here. FA Cup against Preston, not needed, and the Carabao Cup against Middlesbrough, not really needed over 2 legs either. Let's see what happens. Yep, that's what you type. Correct, Constantine Dante. Actually, I think he would only miss 1 EPL game against Fulham. I will check that myself. I would do that myself. I am ready for the giveaway, Chelsea FC for live. And yeah, you haven't typed what you should type. It shouldn't be all caps. Each word starts with a capital letter. let me show you again. Can you say it? Merry Christmas. Yep, only 2 letters capitalized. The M and the C. Yep. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Actually, I think I've read that too. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. We say no to the Super League. We remain in the European competition. Hopefully the Premier League and or the FA don't push us to decide, okay, you know what, that's what we're gonna do. Yeah, let's see anything else. Keep dropping the likes on the stream. Gyökeres will be the best. Okay, Victor T. Moses, I like your name. Jesus Perez does set up the set piece of a Poch, but he does get involved more when the set pieces are not working. So I guess Poch will be dealing with the set piece. You can say drills himself. Okay, I'm not sure. Merry Christmas. Yep, that's the way you type it. If you want to participate, you type Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Each word starting with a capital letter. Chelsea has FFP ceiling to respect, so they won't spend high. That's why they want to sell Gallagher because he's home based due to FFP, and that's just you, James Felix. You just speculating there. There's no way to tell that Chelsea wants to sell Gallagher. And I've also heard that Gallagher has met with the club's hierarchy. And they want to keep him. I've also seen a report saying that Chelsea will block any offers coming in for Gallagher in January. So we're not too sure what to believe there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream and please type it only one time. Merry Christmas only one time. We just need to bring men, not crying babies. The Chelsea fans were insulting Alonso for years, but I never seen him cry. Now look at us, captains. Captain mentality. He cries like a baby just because of some critics. Yeah, I didn't like that either. Only Joshua, you have to do that just one time. Joshua Dan. So let's start collecting. No, if you're not here and we do the draw, that's you. Okay, it has to be on this particular window here. So I'll say start collecting. Let's see how many people we have there. Just 4. I'll give you more time to type yours. Merry Christmas, James. Yeah, Merry Christmas to you too, but you have to do it like this. Hashtag Merry Christmas to get a chance to win $50. The M capital letter, the C capital letter, and the plan is to do it in 3 consecutive days. Except if my wife checks the account and say, "Why are you withdrawing that much money?" Let's hear you, Bobby.
I'll be back. So I just need to jump out quickly. I'll be back.
So Roger, I have okay, Bobby. We'll wait for you. Let me see this question here. If you can address this, which says a question for Bobby, but for Roger now. A question for you, for a gang member of yours. Do you think we need another striker in January or another winger to score goals more, to score more goals? Roger, that one is for you. Let's hear you.
Well, I was hoping that we could see more of Broja and Jackson, and then Kunku, before making the decision. Well, when does the actual transfer window close? Do you know?
I can find out for you while you speak. I think probably January. At the end of January.
End of January, right? So
yeah, I think so. But let me check for you.
So we get about 6-7 games, probably about 3 or 4 full games to see what Nkunku's made of, to see how he does. Maybe with Jackson, there could be a good build-up like there was in pre-season, and or Broja with Mudryk or my cousin, etc., and Palmer. We may not need to dip into the market if we start, shall we say, being clinical and finishing off our chances. I'm hoping that perhaps naively that this will come to fruition, but it takes time, as Bobby was saying. But who knows? By halfway through the transfer market, it could become quite apparent that even with virtually all our players returning, that we do indeed need a number 9, an elite number 9, I might add.
So this here says, so just quickly, the winter transfer window shuts at 6 p.m. ET on Thursday, February 1st, 2024, which means just one extra day. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so that leaves us, I can't remember, I looked at the schedule a couple of days ago, including the semi-final. It leaves us about, 3 games this December and end of January. So it's about 6-7 games probably. So, it's. I wish we had a little bit more time to ascertain who we have in our squad is who will actually can succeed. But I'm not sure whether we will actually hit the market based on who's available. I think spending money for the sake of just spending it and not actually spending it on a target that you really want, a player that fits your profile. I think that would be moronic, naive at best. So it all depends. I listen. We have 6 or 7 games to see what we can do. That's enough. We're 45% through the Premier League season as it stands right now, with each game basically is 2.6%, right? So we're 45%. Yeah, I'll be interested. I'm actually, if I had to bet money on it, $10, I probably would be leading towards us not buying an elite player. Maybe we'll get another player like Jackson that has a ceiling but only costs 30 to 50. I think us spending 80 to 120 million, it would have to be someone we absolutely want, and he's our first pick. And I don't see that happening because Osimhen is not going to be leaving in all likelihood, Italy. And I don't think
So
Tony's
you
going to
don't
be
think we'll
leaving.
go for him in January?
Well, it's possible we could buy him, but he arrives next season. That's a possibility. It all depends
Possibly,
on
yeah. We could reach an agreement for that to happen, just like we did. Who was that? We did that
well,
for a player,
several
just
players.
Nkunku,
Yeah, and Cuckoo, and also what's the other player? The
Gusto.
Algerian player. Well,
We
yeah,
did Gusto
Gusto
too.
also, but we did it for the what's his name? The left-footed winger. I forgot his name. Ziyech. We did it for Ziyech also.
Oh yeah. I
Yeah,
remember that.
but
Yeah.
to be honest with you, it's well. Let's see what we do. But I can honestly, I can see that happening, but I doubt it. I mean, because it's inflated prices. And I saw reports that the release clause for Osimhen is between 120 to 130 million euros, which
Euros. So
is
I think I did the calculations. So that's around 112 million pounds.
yeah, I was to guess about 105, but okay. So I mean, that's a lot of golf balls, coach. We have to make sure that we acquire the right person, that everyone is on board with that person. If not, then I say we wait and play out the season and see what we have. Who knows? We may not need to actually go and dip into our pockets.
Yeah, we may not need. I think I've stopped saying that for a while. I think everything comes down to how well the players we have they do. Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I think
Yeah,
that's really a huge factor. I really do.
yeah.
Um,
And in case of Osimhen, I think the truth is I think we may not be able to sign him, and that's because I don't see us agreeing to pay the whole amount
yeah,
upfront. I think we'll be looking for a more convenient payment terms, which I don't think the Lorientes will agree. Maybe if the part of our request would be okay, if you agree to our request with regards to permanent terms, then he will finish the season with you. That's no way to tell. And just quickly, if you're watching in a bit, we would do the draw for the giveaway. You get to win $50 today, and we'll still do that tomorrow. And next, and here's what you have to do: type Merry Christmas. The 2 words, each of the words are starting with a capital letter, no spaces, and make sure the pound sign is there. Let's see what else we have here. I've read this one. OMG, more time. Roger, you want to see more of Broya? I understand Roger's argument. It looks like you're here today just to fight Roger, and you had to wait until Bobby left, so he's alone. Coach, I believe that our owner is building something special. Let the supporters give them time. It's easier said than done, in my opinion. OMG, more time. Yep, time is the language. Hi, Roger. The board are looking closely to next 3 games. How we do. If the board finds that we are missing Easter chances, then the board will go for a striker. Okay, that's what. How do you know that's the case, man? Are you an insider? Let us know so we know what to expect of you whenever you're in the chat there. Vic, nice to see you. I appreciate you finding the time to join. I hope you're doing well, brother. Love to you. Let's see, we have this is saying breaking news, coach. A friend of mine have informed me that the board are worried that we could be in relegation battle if we lose 2 of our next games. Okay, the board want us not to lose I'm not sure what to make of that report. Okay, a friend of yours told you. Okay, the Saints spoken today by Bobby and Roger is what you have to. You have to elaborate. You want me to finish it for you? No, I'm not doing that. Yeah, you have to say what you want to say yourself. So I'm gonna go back and do the draw again. Once more, I'll give you a chance if you're following the show on Instagram or if you're following the show on Twitter, formerly known on X, formerly known as Twitter, or on Facebook. You should come join us on YouTube here to get a chance to win $50. We'll do another one tomorrow, and the next one will be on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve. It depends, but I appreciate you all. That's a way to appreciate our followers. But you must be subscribed to the channel. And right now, I've looked at it. We need just 8 more subscribers to get to 18,000 subscribers, and I know we'll get there. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people. The likes to go a long way. I'm gonna say collect again. Collect a 3, 1 person, 4. I think I'm gonna do the draw in a bit. I'll wait to see if anybody joins us. And then we'll do the draw. Jude, anything else you want to talk about before we do the draw? Jude, you there? Did I even add you? Okay, Richard, did you see the report where Pochettino was talking about the entourages of some of our players asking questions why you could say a player from their camp, some of the players from the respective camps aren't playing. That's one of the reports here. Mauricio Pochettino has warned his players and their entourages that Chelsea is not a charity, and that complaints about them not playing annoys him. What do you make of that, Roger? I think
I saw that.
But he doesn't actually have to say it. He should just deal with it. But go ahead.
Yeah, no, I you can sense the frustration. You know, he stated before, you're paid to train, not paid to play. You know, and I like that philosophy. I really do. It's a very nuanced way of looking at things. It really is. In other words, you don't train well, you don't play. Simple as that.
You have to
You
prove
know?
that you're better than the players
Yeah.
you're competing with.
Nothing is a given. You know, you have to earn your spot. It's that simple. Either as a starter or on the bench. You know, nothing should be given to you. He's sending a message to his players because they're young, coach. They're frightfully young, and I believe he's probably his ears been bent quite a bit, or he's witnessed or has been privy to information about certain entourages. Perhaps, I don't know. This could be an indirect or a direct message to his squad and or their entourages. It's that simple, and basically saying, listen, this is the big leagues. You know, you want to play, button down the hatches and work hard. He seemed quite, shall we say, animated about this. So that's a good sign.
So it really did annoy him.
Yeah, it definitely seemed to have, pushed his buttons. I kind of like that in a way, to be honest with you. I'm not sure what's going on behind the scenes, but looking at the last game against Newcastle, that team certainly seems bonded and unified. So I don't believe he's losing the locker room or anything like that. I think there's maybe, because we're improving, maybe people are wanting more to play more, and I think that can only be a good sign. But time will tell, right?
Yeah, time will tell. I agree with that. When we come back, we'll talk about interview with the Reece James's doctor. The doctor that operated on him has promised that he will come back even better and will be ready. And will be, we can say, will be ready to play in the upcoming Euros. Yeah, some good news for us is the doctors promised that the issue has been dealt with once and for all, that it will not come back again. A question to Roger: are you worried that the other teams are starting? I'm not sure what to make of that, except if you understand that as it is, Roger, to find their form in the league. Okay, are you worried that other teams are starting to find their form in the league, Roger? Is that the case for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's yet to be determined, isn't it? We need to start being consistent, and that's something that I think we can all agree upon. Is we've lacked consistency across the board. So, I don't think we're anywhere near where we want to be. I'm not talking about points wise. I'm talking about application. Individually and as a collective playing. And I think we definitely need to improve. And I think where we stand in the table is a true reflection of that, ups and downs.
Yeah, so if you have any questions, drop in the chat. We'll try our best to answer it. And Jude, if you have anything you want us to discuss, you can go ahead and bring it up. I'm just waiting to see if more people would join to get a chance to win. But in a bit, I will stop. I will just do it. The lesser we have, you can say. It doesn't. We don't have to have the whole world here before we do it. Not playing them when feet waiting too long. I think that may well be an issue. And Dante the Dime is one of your comments. Like I said, the context to these comments are about players returning from injury, not fighting for places. And you did mention that Dodgers here, not quoting the original comments, he is a paraphrased or maybe just twisted it the way he wants. For clicks maybe. So it makes sense. Roger, why doesn't Roger? I didn't know you work with Pochettino. So he's asking, why doesn't Pochettino play Ian Matson?
We're roommates, mate. No. I think personally, I think he experimented with Matson preseason as a winger. Obviously. I think he doesn't have the physicality and the height to play in that position. I don't think he's proven himself that he's too far down the depth chart at left back. He really is. That doesn't mean to say he can't play, especially if we're depleted. But I think probably he's going to be playing higher up the pitch. I think that's a strong possibility. I know he came on late in the game and he was left back, right? And and Gusto moved to right, but that's when we were chasing the game, where us playing defense really wasn't that much of a factor because we needed to score. Period. If you understand my logic, so it was a last throw of the dice, so to speak. But I don't believe that Matson has really caught the eye of Poch, and I think it's probably because of what I've stated, but also he's raw too.
Yeah, Constantine says great mentality, reach very Poch-like. I can definitely tell you, read his book. I don't think I have time to read his book. I have a lot to read already. Here's the one more time, Eugene. I know you wanted to be a part of the giveaway, so I'll give you a chance. Here's what you type here, Eugene. Hashtag Merry Christmas. As seen here. This is where what you need to type, Eugene. If you're there. Hashtag Merry Christmas. Each word starting with a capital letter, the M capitalized and the C capitalized. To participate, Eugene, I know you told me you wanted to be part of it, because you're not, but this is not for students, this is for everyone. So, Eugene, you have a few, you can say a minute or two to type there to participate in the giveaway. You get to win $50. Jude, you wanted to say something, or should I just go ahead?
So, yeah, good morning. Good morning once again. Yeah, my contribution is that I said it the other time. I watched his the last three what they call it, press conference, where someone asked him about Ian Matson. So, and what he kept hammering on was that he needs players that will play regularly, and he repeated the same thing yesterday. It starts from the training. So that was why I knew that Matson let me use Roger's word, that he hasn't really caught the eye of Poch. Poch said he didn't. Poch himself didn't put it out directly, but when you put his words together, you realize that maybe Martin has not been impressing him enough. And they asked him that, yeah, but he was so fantastic in the first division last season. He said that is different from the Premier League. He said, yeah, I agree, it was fantastic, but that's different from Premier League. He said when you put up a performance in the first division, when you come to the team, you have to show it from the training. So that says it all. And yesterday he didn't talk too much about it, but I know he has already answered that before. So I that's why it's so sad that even when the guy came on preseason, he did well, but like the coach said, the person that will play starts from the training. So maybe Matson needs to put enough work. He also said the same thing about Nani, that yeah, he's been unlucky with injuries, but at the same time, he needs to put more work. Meaning that even when he was fit, he wasn't putting in as much work as the coach would like. So that's just what I have to say about those two. Yeah.
Can
All
I
right,
can
thanks so
I
much.
add something to this, please,
Yeah,
Coach?
go ahead, Bobby, quickly, so I can
Uh,
do the draw and come back to the panel.
just really quickly, because I caught the tail end of that, but I want to allude to what Jose Mourinho said, where he said, look, it gets easier for a coach to get results because the more quality you have, the more options you have, and the more standards you can demand from your players. Now, what's happened to Martson, in particular, and indeed Madueke, is that in their respective positions, there's more alternatives, especially Martson's in the left back, and there's more quality for the manager to choose from. So their game, just as Pochettino has said, has to step up. So it's all very well when he was playing in Championship Burnley, where he was more or less the only option. But now Chelsea have three, I think maybe even four options in that position, even with the injuries. When these guys come back, people like Cucurella, even one of our centre backs is proving to be a great option in the left back position. So Martson's game has to be up. This is what happens in top flight teams, and he has to learn to live with that. Now, if you can't live with that, then go find an easier number, but that will not change if you're going to stay with a top team like Chelsea are, and indeed want to progress to be even further. So that's the problem Martin is struggling with at the moment, and I hope he's able to step up to the plate, as is Madueke. Pochettino said that in his interview. He said, look, this kid has to now step it up because he's got people like Sterling, Palmer, and they're all playing at a very high level. So he's got to show that he's worth that position. And I say good luck to it. That's what we want at Chelsea.
Yeah, thank you so much. So I'm going to do the draw and then come back to the panel so we can just discuss whenever topic the panel brings up. But if you have a question and you're in the chat, you ask a question and then we will try to address your question. So I'm going to do the draw. I'm going to go back again in case anybody else wanted to be part of it. Let's do this. So let's draw. Let's see. Good luck to all of you. I think not me. If I emerge as the winner, I will redo the draw. Ooh, okay, Joshua Dan, congratulations to you. You've won yourself $50. We'll still do another one tomorrow and one on New Year's Eve on New Year's Day proper. So, Joshua, congratulations to you. You've emerged the winner of our Christmas giveaway today. I hope $50 will be enough to get you something that you enjoy, or maybe enough to you can say for you to do something good for yourself with it. But once more, congratulations to you. Let's see what else we have here. If you have any question, drop it in the chat and we will try to address that question. Not gonna lie, it's time to blame owners. Nobody can convince me that 2 years it's not enough to make a rebuild. Seeing what Barca was doing in last season, and I don't agree, but you're entitled to your opinion. And Joshua, do not use more than 3 emojis, please. If you use more than 3 emojis, Nightbot would delete your message and at some point will suspend you. And Joshua, hopefully you have a PayPal account. If you use Cash App, it won't take me 2 hours from now to send it to you. If you use PayPal, also, it won't take me 2 hours from now to send it from you. But if it has to be that I have to do Western Union, then yeah, you'd wait until I find time to go out to find the store nearby. Yeah, but I understand your frustration right there, but I still can't blame them. They came in and they thought what the players we had at the time, you can say will be enough. And then it turns out some of them didn't want to be here. Some of them didn't want to be here, and we asked for them to do a clear out. They did that. Yeah, and we were happy they did that. We were happy they sold some of the players they sold. We were happy they didn't push to keep Jorginho. We were happy they didn't push to keep. It depends on who you ask, though. We were happy they didn't push to keep Kovacic, Mason Mount, some players there. And now they've signed us new players. And if you're not paying attention to the fact that we have an entirely new team, that you shouldn't be that shocked that we've not been consistent. Then you're not being truthful to yourself. Well, let me just say you're not being objective. So once more, congratulations to you. Let me not forget the name of the winner again. Okay, Joshua Dan, I'll take a screenshot of that so I don't lose it. Congratulations, Joshua, and Vic. Thank you for telling him that. Yep. Much appreciated. He says, my God, coach, I'm so happy. I'm glad you're happy. What do you do? Let me ask you a question. What do you do, Joshua? It doesn't matter whether you're a student or not. Just tell me. I want to know. Roger, you have any questions for us? This is the time I usually like to hand over to you because you come up with good questions. So maybe you're the host now, so that we can round off in a bit. If you're there, Roger.
Actually, I want to hear. I want to hear about what you think about us going forward. Let's say for the next until the end of January.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think is going to transpire? Do you think we splash the cash in this transfer window, or do you think that we'll wait until next year? I mean, next transfer window, meaning after the season.
Okay, two things. I'm going to say this. I've heard things that sound as if we're going to splash the cash in January. I've also taken my time to think about it and say, okay, we have Nkunku, who's just returned to full fitness. We have Nicholas Jackson. He's not been the most prolific goal scorer, but he's put away a few. And on 7 goals, that's not bad. No, it is bad also, but we've had strikers who have played as many games as he's played and didn't score up to 4. So I'll take that. But
that's a low bar, coach.
Yeah. It's so low, really. So if Jackson can be scoring every now and then, Nkunku scoring 2, some of our defenders are chipping in goals every now and then, and the wingers too scoring, chances are we'd score good enough goals to be doing well enough that they will look at it and say, no need to pay premium for a striker now, let's take our time. And Fabrizio Romano, he's reported that Chelsea aren't in a hurry actually to sign a striker, that they are taking their time, considering multiple options, not just a single striker on the market, in my opinion. So it all comes down to how well we're doing. But that time is here. It's actually a few days right now. Look at me sounding as if we're still in October.
September maybe.
September maybe. So maybe it's still, I'd say it still comes down to how well we do in a few games we have before January transfer window opens. I think that if there's a way we start performing, they say, you know what, I think we'll be fine. I don't know. I hope I answered your question, Roger.
Yeah, no, I get it. You know, for me, the one position that I'm actually really intrigued with is the opportunity that Petrovic has been presented with. I mean, he could nail down his position as a potential starter going forward, or it could ring alarm bells where we are in deep doo-doo, where we're going to have to go into the market and get someone. I'm not sure it will come to that, but I think it's a very interesting times for that, for our defense, specifically that position. I really do. I mean, he did very well in the last game, but that's just one game. What about? I want to ask you about what do you think is our best defensive line available to us? By the way, not
yeah. If
starters.
you're going by if we're going by the most solid, then I say probably go with the 4 centre-backs. But if we need a balance of you can say being defensive and offensive at the same time, then essentially I'd say right now Badia Chile, Thiago Silva, right back Gusto right now, and left back Cucurella isn't available in my opinion, because if you ask me, I've said that, and I'm sure you've heard me say that I'd pick Cucurella over Ben Chilwell anytime, any day.
Can I ask? I know. Listen, you know, I have no agenda, especially with Silva. I think he's wonderful, but do you not think it's time that we may possibly start playing consistently Badiashile and Disasi more often than not?
Yes, the last
do
time
you think this is the
I
right
talked
time
about.
to do that?
Yeah, go ahead, Roger.
Do you think it's the right time to do that? Sorry, Coach, for butting in.
No. I think we should start learning to live without him.
Yeah,
I think so. I think we'll actually overplay him. We say we rely so much on him. Again, it's going to become an issue. I don't think I think we'll struggle to play without him once his time is done. For lack of a better way to phrase that. We've discussed this before actually, and we're all agreed that we should start to learn how to play without him. And I think this Christmas period is a good opportunity to do that, because the games are coming in thick and fast. So we should probably. I wouldn't play him in the next game if I were the manager.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
Go ahead, bro.
I think we've been very lucky indeed that we have been blessed with a 39-year-old that has kept himself in great shape and knows how to recover after a game, because I don't even want to think about where we would be without him the last 2 years. And because of that, you're right, we can't be this self-reliant. I think, I don't know about anyone else that's on the panel, but I'd like to hear what you think about phasing out. And I say this really respectfully, phasing out or utilizing Silva more judiciously, as opposed to overworking him. What does everyone say?
Yeah, I'm not just you have other panelists here. Ask them, Roger.
Yeah, that's what I was. It's open to any and all people on the chat and the panel.
Bobby is there. Jude is there. Both.
Bobby, put down the brandy, mate.
Yeah, I was just trying to unmute. Because I've got other things going on my phone.
I'm sorry, mate.
No, it's good. It's good. Look, I'm all for that phasing out. I think it's crucial. I think it's very important. But you see, there again, we are so hard on ourselves at Chelsea. We think we almost get embarrassed when our reasons for being in certain situations are mentioned. The reason why it's been hard to do a proper phase out of Thiago Silva like we had of John Terry during his time is because of injuries. The injuries have really hampered us. And now Badiashile is back, and we still have Fofana to come. I can see he's slowly showing signs of some sort of field training, although I really don't expect him back till about January, well into January, if not February, but if not maybe even March, because his injury, I remember when we used to see Chilwell on the grass, and even Nkunku, it still took them months to actually get anywhere near the field of play.
Feels like years.
So, yeah, it does. It certainly does. So, injuries have severely hampered everything to do with the programming. And, Pochettino kind of alluded to that yesterday without saying it, because he didn't want to look like he was complaining. But he said, look, we've had some obstacles to our progress, but we're still progressing. And of course, our friends, the media, won't give us any kind of respite. They're too busy banging on about the couple of injuries Newcastle had when we were playing them, and some bad tackle by Caicedo. I was fuming at that because I'm like, crikey, you're talking about Newcastle injuries. We've had 12 plus at times injuries for the past 3 years, and you don't even give us any sort of respite or acknowledgement of that as you talk. Even then we had players still out injured, and we still do. And Nkunku, who had a bit of a run out, was just coming back from injury, and it's still going to take him a long time, as Pochettino said, to really find form. So that's what has hampered us. Yes, we do need to phase out. Hopefully, Badiashile to me seems to be the obvious choice, especially in the absence of Fofana. But we'll wait and see what happens.
Yep, and Heston, Joshua Dan, the way was that this particular comment really touched me. I'm so happy. That shows it means a lot to you. And because we got 19 pounds from my friend and brother, Mitch Boy, and also 79. Is that what do you call that in pounds, Roger?
Pence, Pence.
Okay, so 79 pence from Oscar. So I can do a lot more for you. So I'm gonna give you Joshua Dan to see that how happy this makes you. It tells me that it means a lot to you. So I'm gonna make it $70 for you. So congratulations once more, Joshua. And I appreciate you always finding the time to support the community. Let's see anything else. What else do we have here? Where did we stop? Actually,
Congratulations.
Congratulations from Roger. You heard him there. He says, God, I don't have PayPal account. MoneyGram. What's that? Don't send your full name here. Hit me up. You followed me on Instagram, I believe. Follow me on Instagram immediately. Don't worry. I'll do check if they have what's the other one called that I use for when I send money to Nigeria. Something else that's easier. I can do it all on my phone. Confidence is what I'm looking for.
Remitly, if the person has an account number in Nigeria, you can send it to the person to pick up in the bank or into the account through Remitly or tap send.
Yeah, here's the one I use here. Just quickly.
Not a Nigerian prince, though, right?
Yeah.
No,
not that one. I use SendWave. SendWave is easy. Joshua, find out if they have SendWave. If they have SendWave in Rwanda. If not, then I'll find time to go to Western Union for you before. I'll try the best I can to do it today. Because after I'll be going shopping today anyway. But congratulations to you once more. So don't worry too much, you will get it, but it would have been easier if you have like PayPal account and all that. Roger, the board are happy with the goalkeeper, and he is a very good goalkeeper. And Roger, just quickly, if you don't mind, I'll come back to you. You wanted to speak about Petrovic, your observations of him the other day. I think you didn't finish your thoughts. Somebody distracted you, or maybe cut him while you were speaking, interjected while you were speaking, and then you didn't get to speak further about him. And so I'll come back to that. Let me just catch up a bit here.
Yeah, sure.
And especially, I don't like Gallagher, who's our best midfielder according to lots of fans, according to numbers too. If that, let that sink in. Which goalkeeper? He's talking about Petrovic. We need Silva to deal with these strong teams like Luton. After watching this Newcastle game, here's the thing: we don't want to overplay him, and he gets injured. I think we'll be worse off if that happens. For the best of the teams of future, need not to be dependent on Silva. Yep. I think something we all can agree on. He should play here and there, but not most of the time. Playing most of the times will be an issue. If he gets injured, we're in serious trouble.
We need him in the team for leadership.
Yeah, exactly. We need him every now and then. He doesn't have to play. Even sitting on the bench will be enough. If you get my point. We shouldn't talk about injuries. Only Nkunku has a place in the starting 11. Real Madrid have 22 injured players this season, plus Alaba, new one. And Alabas will be for a while, I heard. They're cooking with Kinderjat and FC. So it's not about age, but but they've been together for a while. Sanchez have been so poor in goal, letting in 22 goals. Do you blame him? Luigi Pellegrini, do you blame him for all the goals we've conceded? You have to also remember that we've not been solid defensively. Fully agree with Bobby that the media never mentions our injuries, but I don't care what they think, really. Petrovic versus Slonina should get a chance and a run to prove themselves. Slonina now, I think no. I don't think so. It's a season of give him, yes, that's what it is. And I'm being honest when I told you the way he said, "My God, I'm happy." That really touched me. And thank you for Mitchell Boy and Oscar for allowing me to do more for Joshua than there. I feel Slonina is the better and is the better and quality keeper waiting to be in between the sticks. Let's see if that happen. But right now it is what is the name? This Sanchez and Petrovic, and both are good. Wow, Coach, God bless you. God bless you too, brother. I'm happy you're happy. Big up, Coach. That's generous. I appreciate the community. We're able to do this. To do more for him actually because of the donations we got from my friend and brother Michi and Oscar. Doesn't matter how your defense plays when you have a good goalkeeper, a good goalkeeper, your team can win the game. Yeah, I agree. Yes, Ascend Wave is here. Oh yeah, lucky you. So that makes it easier for you. Might as well just play no defenders. Then more forwards. Yeah, Madrid does not have 22 injured players, but I think he is exaggerated anyway, if you understand. That Richarlison has scored again. He scored? Okay, he's picking up from Courtois, Elda Militao, and now Alaba. Alaba, I think he will be out for a while. Richarlison has scored again. And let's see, our game tomorrow is a must-win. Chelsea FC for life. So, Roger, let's hear you talk about Petrovic. I think we'll round up for that one, except if Bobby and a lot of people has anything else to say. But I think we'll be streaming for 2 hours, 46 seconds, and we should be rounded up soon. But, Roger, I can't wait. I want to hear you talk about Petrovic, how well you think he's done.
He's had a couple of really perfect matches for him to be bedded in, hasn't he? When you think about it. I think he exhibited composure. His distribution was excellent. A couple of times he hoofed the ball forward and he didn't keep it in bounds. But other than that, his close passing and proximity was excellent. He never put pressure on himself, by having too many touches, which welcomes pressure. He stayed away from that. I thought he did outstandingly well in that regard. Obviously, his concession of a goal you can't really put down to him. That was just a comedy of errors, and it was a well taken goal from the outstep of Wilson's foot. And then you have to look at the penalty shootout. I thought he acquitted himself exceptionally well. Looked mature beyond his years. I thought he's done well, but it's only a couple of games we've seen him in, so not exactly a big enough size to draw a real well-informed opinion. I mean, from what I've seen and what I've seen, online, he seems to be, I would say, in the very early stages. So don't come back and castrate me later if I'm wrong. But from what we've seen so far, I think he's better than Sanchez. It appears, but it's early days though. But I am pleased with what I've seen for the most part. In all facets of his game, he does need to dominate his box more. I think that's probably one of his weakest spots. But everything else, when you consider what's going on with our defense and everything, I think he's doing okay. I'm not sure whether he's going to be an elite keeper, but I wouldn't bet against him either, if that makes sense. I know I'm sounding like I'm on the fence, but it's just I haven't seen enough of him. But what I have seen, I am quite pleasantly, not surprised, but pleased, actually.
Would you say did he come across to you as composed on the ball?
Yeah. I was watching most of all his footwork in conjunction with where the ball was, but we hardly saw him against Newcastle for the most part, which is actually a really good sign that when you have very little pressure on, that you keep awake and you keep concentrated. So that's a good sign in and of itself. But the 2 games that he started, I think he hasn't really been tested that much. But what I have seen of him, he looks quite good. And like his reassurance on the ball too, his arm gestures, he seems to communicate with his back four really well also. And and I'm sure Silva is a steady rock for him also. I think that's really important, that you have some form of experience back there. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with him. I'm just more intrigued on how he progresses, in the next 4 to 6 games. I'm not sure when Sanchez will be available. I'm not that informed about that. But Sanchez needs to be worried, I think, to a certain extent. His position as a starter could very well be not secure, potentially.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Roger, for that. Roger, do you think we'll win tomorrow? I don't know. Roger, you want to answer that one?
Yeah, I honestly, I think let's see what carryover this brings from the last, game and the penalty shootout. I think depending on availability of players, we can't put too much pressure on Nkungudis, and he's not going to start probably, and he's not match fit 100%. So we need to lower expectations about that. But yeah, I listen. It's a tough place to play, Molineux. It's not easy for so many reasons, and they're a good team. They have very good technical players. They have for quite a few years. But I'm confident we can come away with at least a point. I really am, and that's being realistic. Obviously, maximum points would be preferred, but yeah, I think we can win. It all boils down to the two biggest questions that we need to fix, and that is wait for it, reducing these defensive errors, and taking advantage of our chances going forward. This is the main issues we have week in, week out without fail. So yeah, if we can reduce the aforementioned and improve on the aforementioned, then yeah, I think we can indeed win.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Roger. And if you're watching, please take a second, go check out a few YouTube shorts that we've released. Tease the season for more YouTube shorts because transfer news are hitting up. So I'm going to be releasing a lot of YouTube shorts, and that does help the growth of the channel a lot. So please go check out the YouTube shorts. Watch them, drop a like on some of them. I'm going to share the link of this one in particular here. Let me just get the link. Copy. Get shareable link. Please go watch this particular YouTube shot. I think it's about 10-12 seconds. Watch it and drop a like on it to help me to help us reach more people, and so maybe that one will go viral. So we have Roger have answered that one. Petrovic is better than Sanchez. Luigi thinks I am going to bed again, coach. My God, I'm so happy. I see what you did there, but I love you, bro. He doesn't let it silly goes. You think, okay, we'll find out. We still have time to see him. Tottenham 2, Everton 0. He's got steady reflexes. I hope to see that. You cannot base it on a penalty save and 2 games with nothing. But we have to speak about our observations if you get that. And people have been telling us that has a better reflex than the other guy, but both are good goalkeepers right now. I'm just going to leave it at that. He looks good, but looks not everything. We'll find out. We have time to. Exactly, the assurance is there with Petrovic. Let's see what Vic has to say. People jumped to conclusions so quickly. I am happy for Petrovic, but we cannot say that he's levels above Sanchez yet. No, I agree, and I don't think Roger said that. We have to watch him and see what happens. And by the way, before I forget, Dan, the winner of today's giveaway, message me via Instagram. I think because we're not following each other, I have to check my messages and see a message request and accept that, and then find a way to do it via send wave for you. So you're a lucky man. I hope Sanchez doesn't come back. Petrovic, the goalkeeper, has a strong mentality, and given the way he's spoken, it's just he has a strong mentality, and he doesn't feel pressure wearing the badge. At least that's what he told us. But we need to see more. We need more sample size. It's a 50-50 with Petrovic in goal. It's a thin chance of a win, but I'm realistic. Okay, thank you for saying that. Badia Schiller should not mess up in defense. That was a mistake that I will never blame on him. And that's because the ball also was bouncy. If we're being truthful here, I would take that, Roger. No defeat tomorrow. That would be great. Thanks for your great answer. What is great about that answer? You just making him feel like he's the most important player here.
It was full of greatness, coach. What are you talking about?
Oh my goodness. Okay, here's the link to that YouTube short I told you about. How many seconds actually? Let me look. I think it's not up to 15 seconds, at most 14 seconds. Let me see. Just quickly there. I can't see it here, but it's not up to 15 seconds. I can assure you that. Please watch it and drop a like on that video for me. Leave a comment if you don't mind, please, to help me get that particular video to go viral. I think it's capable of doing that. A similar show that I did got 7,000 plus 7,000 plus views. Yep, the one I did with regards to our position on the table. So please, the link is there. Go check it out. Drop a like and leave a comment to tell me what you think of that video. They have 22 injuries this season. Okay. I'm saying a draw every game from now on. A draw is like a win after all for us, coach. Maybe you never know, but I think we're capable of winning it. But I'll wait until after the game that we'll find out who wins. But Roger thinks we'll win, but we'll see. Sanchez was a third reserve keeper for Brighton. I think that happened after he had issues with the manager.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it has nothing to do with, I believe it has nothing to do with his playing ability, but that's just me. I'm not too sure. I never worked for Brighton. I didn't work for Brighton at the time, and I don't work for them right now. So there's no way to, I wouldn't say I'm correct. About him being tested and proven. Let's see what else we have here. With that, I'm sleeping now. Take care. Much love to you, Constantine Dante. See you tomorrow for another show. We appreciate you. Okay, I don't know. Jude, you have anything else to say? Should we call it a day?
No, nothing else to say. I just wish us good luck tomorrow, and I believe we can win the match. Yeah.
Yep, and we have our board members meeting tomorrow, right? He understands what I mean by that.
Yeah,
we have a meeting scheduled for tomorrow. Yeah. How about you, Bob? You have anything else to say?
I'll reach out to you for the time. I'll reach out to you to get the time.
Yeah, we have to. We have to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bob, you have anything else you want to talk about before we call it a day?
No, nothing else to add. Looking forward to tomorrow. Unlike Roger, I'm not certain of anything with this team. A win is a bonus, is something we hope for. But at the moment, I'm living in hope. I'm watching the development progress, hopefully in the right direction.
All right, thank you so much, Bobby. I appreciate that, and we're glad that you're back. Glad that your absence was as a result of you being on holiday. It's important. You need to take a break and recharge, and I'm glad you did that. That's when you talked about it. That reminds me of I and my wife fighting over my devices whenever we're on vacation because I can't stay off the internet for 15 minutes. Every time we go on vacation, I feel like I'm being punished because I'm not allowed to do anything.
Tell me about it. I'm listening to you guys. I wasn't even allowed to listen to you guys at one point. So
yeah, my wife is like that. Yeah, like, what are you doing? And if we're at the dinner and I'm looking at my phone, she'll be just stepping on my foot, like matching me, like, stop it. But what time show tomorrow? Same time. I'm not gonna say 4 a.m. We've had internet connection issues. It's just there's a pattern to it. Usually 4 a.m. my time is when the internet is more stable. So when I sense that it's shaky or what's the language, the word I'm using for if it's fluctuating, usually I postpone the show to see if it stabilizes. Do I need to sleep extra hours so I can stay up more? Just go away. But much love to you. Seems like Girona needs less time for development. Did they change as many players as Chelsea did? You let me know if that's the case. Then we'll start talking. But that's by the way, I want to say thank you to Bobby, thank you to Roger, thank you to Ladipo Mesole, thank you to all of you, and thank you to Constantine Dante, thank you to Eugene, thank you to Rich Money Makers, thank you to Joshua Dan, and congratulations to you once more. Reach out to me via Twitter so we can send you your cash price as soon as possible. Thank you to my brother Vic, and thanks to all of you. If I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and bye.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.